Hello, 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 everybody. I guess I'm back. It's been a minute, huh? Well, life's been a bit interesting since the last time I streamed, so that's the main reason for the hiatus. The very, very long hiatus. It's gonna be really funny if I'm thinking this is longer than it is. No, it had to be like a solid 2 months of like radio silence in terms of streaming from me. Uh, yeah, I mean, best reasons I can give are just home situation wasn't ideal for streaming at the time. I basically had to leave my door open a lot. And I can't even say this is like a full return because I honestly don't know because I've been having to work a lot more. That's the second reason. To the point where I just don't get. I mean, I guess I could stream it. I could try to stream every Monday. Because Mondays I always have off. But some weeks I work every day from Tuesday to Sunday, and then some weeks I get a random day off. This happened to be a week where I got a random day off, so I decided, fuck it, I'm actually gonna try committing to a stream. Because I like doing it. I had fun while I was doing it over the last year's fall-winter season, whenever the hell I started. I want to say winter season. Off the top of my head. And besides, I bought an expensive ass mic. I say as it was like $100 maybe. Probably less than that. Probably in the 50 to 100 range. But yeah, no. So I am hoping that this is the start of me, streaming a bit more frequently again. I can't make any promises though, because God only knows uh, what the hell I'll be up to. Oh, so I just realized I never checked something with my stream info. Did I even... Oh, okay, good, good, good. My go live notification is fine. Okay. I forgot. I forgot if I still had it specific to what game I was playing, or if I made it like a more general one. And I saw that it was a more general one. Yeah, no. I'll probably get more into... Maybe I'll get more... No, you know what? Let's talk life now, I guess. Before I forget it, because I always, I remember I always say, oh, I'm gonna talk about it, and then I just completely forget to. Also, let me switch it from stream starting to streaming now. I always forget to do that too, but that definitely probably doesn't entice people. It's gotta be honest and be stream happy. See, look how excited. On my screen, it just changed for reference, so that's why I look at it. It's an exclamation point. It's so happy. But basically, the main things stopping me were I kept the door open to my room at all times to make sure other people weren't dying, which I'm fine with doing. That's not a big deal. Just, that just increases the chance of background noise getting in, so I was like, maybe hold off because of that. But it's been getting cooler, so the second reason I've been holding off is because I've been working a lot more hours than I was. So typically when I was streaming, I was in roughly the 15-25 hour range of work, whereas lately I would say I'm in the 28 to 36 hour range. Which obviously I know it's not a 40 hours, so I'll say that, and some people will still call me a jobless bum or wonder why that has me tired or wondering what free time I have, but it is what it is. I can't worry about every hypothetical person not liking statements I make. Otherwise, why would I talk at all? Yeah, good to see you. Good to see. I'm glad you got my message, Gleamy. Bro heard me talking and not playing a game for 5 seconds and immediately called me washed. That's the Gleamy Monaco I know. But speaking of being washed, aren't you the one who decided you weren't good enough to hang in the streaming space? You let yourself get beat by an autistic man. Embarrassing! Bro fell off. I would have had to be up to fall off. That's where you're wrong. I would have had to bend somewhere to fall off. But well, obviously I know how you've been. We talk outside of chat, so I'm not even gonna ask how you've been. Last I know, unless it's changed, are you still doing good or no? Because last I knew, things were looking on the up for you. You know, as of yesterday, but let me know if like 24 hours has switched things at all. Yeah, sorry to ruin the immersion stream world, but shocker, shocker, the person I collabed with in the past, I'm friends with and I talk with outside of streaming. Can't beat my Pookie, so I had to withdraw from the scene. Yeah, elaborate on why there's a chance you could have beat up XQC. Oh, okay, no, I get what you're saying, because when you did the... Okay, no, I hear you. It's clicking now what the hell you're talking. Okay. I had to, like, fight through 20 rounds of brain worms. Aside from my heart exploding, I'm fine. That's good. Glad to hear you're doing alright, beside from the heart. After the stimmy detox? Probably. I mean, as far as you've told me, you don't plan on taking it anymore, so that should hopefully calm things down. So yeah, I got distracted. Where the hell was I in talking about... Oh yeah, I was talking work and how I got more hours. And how that's just been, like, left me with less free time to stream. Because I was explaining why I haven't been streaming in a minute. That's right. That's where I was at. Unrelated, I really hate that because I follow, it's_Josh, my favorite streamer, because he really used to be in, like, not Dream SMP Live, that by association, every time I look at the people to watch tab, Call Me Carson is just sitting there, ominously. What's the matter, Gleamy? Can't type? Embarrassing! Me personally, I would stop typing if I fucked up that badly, but, you know, I'm sure you'll find a way to cope. I'm sure you'll find a way to cope and make it so it wasn't actually that bad of a mistype. But let's just say, I am not sucking in the wage cage. If I were sucking on the wage cage, I would have an OnlyFans or Fansly open by now. It's okay, we all know you love to suck. Again, if I did, I would have like an OnlyFans or Fansly to be making money off of, or trying to anyway. Uh-oh. Why is my thing lagging? Uh-oh. I'm not dying, am I? I swear to God, the internet... Okay, I was gonna say... Twitch started, like, buffering, so I was like, please tell me my internet's not going to shit on the day I decide to actually try streaming again. Like, I'll cry. I'll cry real tears. And they won't be manly tears, they'll be feminine tears. But... yeah, shit, I lost my track on life events. But yeah, no, just life events. Been working at my pizza store more, so I haven't had as much time to invest in streaming. My stream is cooked, by the way? What are you talking about? Hold on, elaborate. Elaborate now on what you're talking about. Please don't tell me my internet is actually cooked. It's been doing so good today and yesterday. Like, elaborate on what you mean by my stream being cooked. If you can even hear me. Hold on, I gotta type it out, I guess. Okay, it's back. Oh, so it was, like, buffering. Okay, well... My epic, like, comeback roast against you when you were, like, stuck in the, you know, sucking off in the wage cage. When you accused me of sucking in the wage cage. It's ruined. It's gone. It's ruined. It's Jover. I need to... Hold on, I gotta... ASMR time? I hope you're ready. Hold on. You love that shit, don't you, you fucking ASMR cuckold? Oh, Jesus. Alright. Let's see how things are looking. I want to kill myself. Did you not enjoy the, me opening up a Pepsi can right next to the mic? I'm waiting for an answer. Waiting for an answer, and then I'll get into the game demo I'm playing today. Oh, holy crap! That's best viewers on website that's not suspicious. Holy freaking crap! Holy crap! Oh my freaking gosh! Oh my gosh! Where the fuck? Hold on. Yeah, you know what I say to that after? Ban, and I hope you a very bad day, because I can't say what I actually want to say. Thank you. Was that you? Was that you who deleted the message, Gleamy? Did you actually, like, do a moderator job instead of just telling me to kill myself? Did we switch up? Did you actually? No, that wasn't you. Oh, was it me? Because I banned them. Because I'm technically a moderator as well. I was gonna say, I was like, big things are happening if you're actually doing like a moderating job. I'm Monaco-chan. I didn't pay attention. So true. The brain worms are too strong. You're streaming this and you have like 20 different TikTok videos of Gadagadi Gadagadayo playing at the same time. I know how you work. I know what you are. Alright, let's get into the game. I'm gonna stream. I gotta pause. I'm gonna not pause you till the game's actually open. How about that? No one likes an ominous silence. Alright, let it open. Let it big things.
Space Colony Studios.
And I have to not full screen it, because I need to see chat. Unfortunately, I have to pay attention. The dancing gif on stream at all times, but for you. Do you feel good typing that sentence out? I need to turn this down. I cannot hear myself, like, talking over this game. It's not even that it's that loud, I just can't hear myself. Okay. Let me... maybe a little more. Okay, is that good? Does the sound good where it is, or no? I'm thinking that still. What am I feeling? I think this is the aesthetic that it's trying to go for, or was it? Yeah, I'll go studio mode. Alright, sound quality is fine. I'm gonna guess based on you typing it's epic. Alright. English, because, you know, that's what I am. Alright, let's get cracking with the lacking. It's alright, it's more visual novel time. It's more visual novel time. I know you love that shit, Gleamy. You got. I tricked you into watching more visual novel stuff. You fool. Why was that so loud? September 21st, Planetary Calendar 209. Following a raft of oppressive policies and crackdowns from the Earth-based government of the Solar Federation, the joint forces of the Martian territories and the Jovian Unified Colony Fleet rebelled. This conflict came to be known as the Solar War. The war carried on for 3 years, but eventually the combined forces of the Martian territories and Jovian Unified Colony Fleet managed to push the Federation military all the way back to planet Earth. In the final days of the conflict, a pitched battle was fought in lunar orbit that would decide the war's victor. Put on the nugget, bro. I already lost my attention. I'm not even, like, entertaining the idea of putting the stupid Gadagadi nugget for you. We're gonna beat the ADHD. Yeah, this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna get you to actually focus on a stream. This is how we get you to actually focus without the addy. Please, no. You're learning how to focus without the stimulants. No more meth for you. I can't. Yeah, you're not trying hard enough. That's why I'm choking on that one. You must have a nugget. Too bad. No nugget for you. Alright, that's loud. I'm modifying that. You reflexively tighten your grip on your armored frame's twin flight sticks as another wave of vibration reverberates through the cockpit. The creak of your new flight suit and your quickening breath are the only sounds that you hear above the gentle hum of the frame's subsystems. As you squeeze the controls tighter, their plastic casings creak under the pressure. You try and stay calm, knowing that these gentle vibrations are remnants of huge shockwaves that are, buffeting the Kalik, the carrier that you're stationed on. Gleamy, you're not gonna kill yourself. You're gonna pay attention to the story and you're gonna have a good time this stream. That's what you're gonna do. We're gonna cure we're gonna cure your ADHD here and now. Each one is a near miss as an explosion tears through the space around the ship. You try to push the thought from your mind and focus on controlling your breathing, but you've already realized that their frequency means the Khalik must be approaching the front lines. Your squadron will be launching soon, and you'll be engaging in your first real sortie. Your first real flight, in fact. You feel your throat tighten. Simulations are as good as the real thing. That's what your trainer told all of you. But you know that pilots are supposed to have hundreds of hours of live flights and training exercises in real armored frames before they're allowed anywhere near the front lines. Of course, that didn't happen. Command had told you that the modern simulators meant cadets could graduate without the need for these exercises. You'd overheard the rumors, though. The Jovian colony fleet had lost a lot of pilots, and still wanting to keep pace with the Martians' advance against Earth, had resorted to fielding anyone who could fight. Your whole squadron is just like you, freshly conscripted from the Europa colony. You'd undergone basic training, but there were almost all of your flight training had taken place on the cruiser's journey from Javan space. Hold on, I know it. Gleamy, Europa. I know you're soying right now. Europe, I know. Soy. You go ahead and put the soy like emote in chat if you have one, which I'm sure you do. There you go. That's how I get your attention. Anytime I see a word. You wonder how the others are feeling right now. Whether. No, and it's maintenance crew. Khalik 5, this is flight deck. We're preparing your squad for takeoff. Running last-minute diagnostics on your frame, activating all systems. Now. Alright, looks all good to go. We'll run a few more checks, then we'll have you spaceborne in a few minutes. You ready to show those Terrans who's boss? Do I act overconfident, or am I a humble little ooh shy boy or gal? Type in chat which one you want me to be. Sorry, I gotta act like those YouTubers desperately struggling to keep their viewers' audience. Alright, chat, I need you to type 1 or 2 if you want me to be an awesome badass or a shy nervous person. Type 1 for awesome badass, 2 for nervous person. Type now! I don't even know what's going on. Literally nothing's happened yet. I'm just on a spaceship about to go into fight. Going into a fight. Bro literally cannot pay attention. Bro, you want the males to be subservient? Well, joke's on you. I actually love the patriarchy, so yeah, we're going against that. Yeah, can't wait to get out there. I'm gonna... You stammer, trying your best to get... Yeah, I figured the kill yourself message was hitting me. You stammer, trying your best to convince not the engineer, but yourself that you're ready for what's waiting for you. Whoa, take a breath there, Khalik 5. It's not gonna be that bad out. No need to get all riled up here in the hangar. Tell you what, pilot, what's your name? What's my first name? You already know, it's Johnny. The best name of all time. Okay, Johnny, and what's your surname? Bobanza. My pronouns are he, him. Johnny Bobanza, is that right? Yes. Okay, Ensign Bobanza. First up... Wait a minute, pronouns. Wait, is this game woke? Wait a minute, wait. I do not know if I can play this. This game might be woke. I want you to know, Gleamy, I only entertained that because I saw the pronouns ew comment from you. I wasn't even thinking of playing into that at all until I saw that. Wait a minute, is it... What the hell is that one French tweet? It was like some dude complaining about... He was like, le pronouns are le woke. He's like, wait a minute, le pronouns, are you le woke? And people expect me to take that language seriously. That's the crazy thing. Europeans will have language that has le pronoun and le woke in it, and then, like, shit talk English. That's the crazy thing. We must... The woke is too much. We must kill it. You're so right. Me when woke. Imagine just, like, a frowning face emoji here. me when le woke, and le pronouns are in the video game. Jesus. Okay, Ensign Bovanza. First up, take a few deep breaths for me. In and out. Nice and slow. You got that? You draw in one long measured breath and hold it, then release it. Following the engineer's instructions, you repeat this a few more times. After a while, you begin to feel your pulse slow and some of the tension in your body slip away. You still feel on edge, but feel slightly more in control. Alright, there we go. Now listen up, Ensign. You ain't got a thing to worry about out there. Way I've heard it is that all the Terran's best pilots were taken care of between here and Mars. Heck, Martians are the ones who have been leading the charge today, so they're the ones taking all the flack. Propaganda machines selling this as our decisive strike against Earth's last line of defense. Alright, I gotta shut Twitter up. Okay, yeah, that's on the game? Okay, I gotta go shut my Twitter up, otherwise I'm gonna get occasional notifications. I forgot. I promise. Professional streamer, never forget. I'm a pro. I'm literally the best streamer in the game. And that's why no one watches me, because I'm the best streamer, and they all just want to watch their slop. They can't handle the goatedness of my streams. Sorry, I looked at my my private account at reply to something. I got someone throwing out the crying emoji in defense of themselves. I won't reveal who, you know. I'll save them. I'll spare them some dignity and not reveal who sent a crying emoji in desperate pleading defense of themselves, but you know, they know who they are. Oh, shit. Sorry, I just stretched. Propaganda machines selling this as our decisive strike against Earth's last line of defense. I already read that line and I forgot. Excuse me. But between you and me, it ain't nothing more than a mopping up situation. Buddy of mine in operations said as much in the canteen last night. Besides, you're this close to closing the tableau, bro. Yeah, go to your fucking minion's toilet and take a fat dookie in it. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Fucking crying about, it's the restroom, not the minion's toilet room, with a crying emoji. You know what? You're getting outed, bro. I'm sick of you. I was like, you are not speaking French Canadian gibberish at me while reacting to slop on stream. I cannot watch this. That's you right now. That's you. That's literally you. Why would you out me for being a minion file? That's a hell of a fucking thing to type out. Why would I out you? Because you were being mean to me is the answer. Because you're nothing but you're mean and you're a hater, and I don't appreciate it. So, you know, I had to humble you a little bro. Little bro needed to be humbled a little bit. You hear a dull ring over the comms and sit bolt upright in your seat, slouching back and exhaling as you realize it's nothing more than the engineer striking the cockpit armor on your frame. This beauty here's a work of art. Terran frames ain't got nothing on her. She's all tuned up and ready to go. Probably spent more time with this one than I have with my own kid. Huh, so don't you worry. Remember what they taught you in training and leave the rest up to her, and you'll come out of this just fine. Despite your startled reaction a moment ago, the engineer's confidence is infectious and it starts to rub off on you. You adjust your position in your seat so that you're sat up straight, and the soft hum of the frame system now seems more comforting than ominous. Give me a quick moment. I'm gonna see if I can widen this window slightly so I can read. I can read a bit easier. There we go. Okay. Just a mopping operation, you think? Martians have done all the work, so we're sitting pretty here in our top of the line frames. Yeah, nothing to worry about. So, Ensign Bobanza, how are you feeling about things now? I don't feel too good. I don't feel too good. You almost managed to reply with something preppy and upbeat, but at the last moment the words catch in your throat. If this were a simple mopping up operation, why was it happening in lunar orbit and not nearer to Earth? Why were those explosions so close to the Kalik? These questions churn in your head as you grip the flight sticks again. Hey, Ensign, you still in there? Comm still green? I said, how are you feeling? Oh, sorry, comm's green. Yeah, I'm feeling good, ready to kick ass and everything. You lie. That's the spirit, kid. Just you remember what I told you. Look after that frame and she'll look after you. Ain't no thing. Left alone with your thoughts, you tune back into the gentle hum of the frame. You watch the seconds tick away on the cockpit clock whilst you wait for the order to launch. The wait seems to drag on and on. You carry out a few last-minute flight checks, but as you'd already completed them, when you boarded, nothing has changed. Man, imagine if I were like actually good at reading words when I play visual novels. It would be a crazy 1-2 piece combo. Sorry, I'm drinking some Pepsi at the moment. Just to get the old throat cleared up a little bit. Alright, pilots, listen up. This is Kalik 1. We've been cleared for launch, so be ready for immediate action. And Resident Sleeper, and Resident Sleeper, and Resident Sleeper from the most ADHD-riddled person I know. Your Resident Sleeper knows nothing. I know what wakes you up. Your Resident Sleeper means less than nothing to me. I know what keeps you awake. Girl can hit me with all the Resident Sleepers they want. It won't change the fact they're an XQC watcher. All frames will be taking off in designation order. Attack formation. Sound off. Kalik 2, ready. This is Kalik 3, ready. Kalik 4 here, ready for takeoff. Oh shit, their fucking faces were here. I should have been paying attention there instead of just the text, but... You believe in Pogman? Last I saw, Pogman is coming. I don't know how much you want to believe in him. Kalik 5, confirm your status. Oh yeah, Kalik 5, standing by. Keep it together, Kalik 5. Kalik 6? Excuse me, Kalik 6, ready. Alright, Kalik Squadron, move out. It's time. See, look it, things are moving. Fucking, hold on, let me snap. Things were moving just now. Kalik 1, launching. Kalik 2, launching. Kalik 3, launched. Kalik 4, moving out. See, look, things are moving on the screen. Stimulation for your little ADHD-riddled brain. See, look at that. The roll call of your squadron as they depart from the ship and accelerate rapidly towards the combat zone sounds almost like a countdown to you. Once Kalik 4 has declared their launch, you know your time has come. You disengage the restraints and prepare yourself. Not enough colors. Where's the chicken nugget? You're not getting the fucking Gadagadi nugget. I'm not resorting to that level of slop for you. I refuse. I have standards, damn you. I am not putting the fucking Gadagadayo chicken nugget on the screen. No, you're not getting the chicken nugget. The fact you're actually begging me for it is insane. Once Kalik 4 has declared their launch, you know your time has come. You disengage the restraints and prepare yourself. Just in the corner. You're not getting the stupid fucking chicken nugget in the corner, bro. This is insane. I thought this was a bit. I feel like this might be a genuine asking me to put the stupid nugget on the corner. Kalik 5, launching. You shout as you slam the flight sticks forward for maximum thrust. I know you would clap. That's the insane part. I know you're not even doing a bit. You would see that and unironically, like, cheer for a moment to yourself. Kalik 5, abort launch, cut thrusters. Kalik 5, abort launch, cut thrusters. The engineer's instructions barely register in the confusion as you're jerked around the cockpit, your helmet slamming on the control panel as a brief moment of thrust throws you back into your seat before you're whipped forward again. Warnings flash all over your monitors, and sirens and alerts sound from all over the cockpit. Kalik 5, abort launch and cut thrusters. It takes a few seconds for you to comprehend the engineer, but once you do, you quickly pull the flight sticks back to their neutral position. The roar of your frame's engine dies, and your cockpit regains its previous stillness. You wince as the metallic taste of blood fills your mouth. Alright, Kalik 5, hang tight for a moment. Your frame's restraints didn't accept the disengage command, so you're still attached to the Kalik. You're gonna need to run a diagnostic. Shouldn't take too long. You slump in the cockpit's chair and exhale deeply, your heart still pounding 1,000,000 beats per minute and your lips stinging. You continue to slow your breathing as you listen to the still open communications channel from the maintenance crew as they work to get your frame released. Hey, yeah, looks like the restraints disengage command didn't register. Yeah, Unit 5. Alright, yeah. Get Unit 6 out, no sense waiting for this one. Okay, start the diagnostic, then reboot if necessary. Kalik 6, launching. Behold. Look, animation. Aren't you so stimulated now, Gleamy? You don't need Nugget. Look at it. This is the robot guy. What do you mean hardware fault? We've checked this 10 times since Mars at least. Who was assigned Unit 5? Oh, 4. Fine, right. Shut down systems and run the diagnostic again. I want this frame out there in the next 5 minutes. Where's Nugget? You're not getting Nugget, lil bro. Lil bro, you are not getting the chicken nugget. No good nugget for you. Kalik 5, we're going to shut down your frame system for a moment so we can run diagnostics. Stay ready though, we'll have you launching soon. You're leaving if we don't give you a nuggie in 5 minutes? Bro thinks I negotiate with terrorists. That's the crazy thing. Bro thinks I negotiate with terrorists. That's the crazy part about this. Kalik 5, understood. Ready and waiting. As your cockpit fades to darkness again, you release the flight sticks and suddenly realize just how long you've been clenching your fist around them. Bro, stop leaking. You're so right. I'm so sorry for leaking that fact about you, but it had to be done. Again, you think you're not the head honcho. I'm the head honcho of my stream. You're not the head honcho. You know, it's time we establish the hierarchy. Me, the person streaming, I'm the top of the food chain. Chat is below. Chat is beneath the streamer, and it's about time I asserted that. Yap yappy, dude. I don't want to hear yap yap when you watch X. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually like talking and engaging instead of just like sitting there with fucking drool coming out of the right side of my mouth while fucking a 30-minute video plays, and occasionally I go. That's my impression of XQC trying to like utter any sense of English. Fucking call me the yapper. Me when the streamer actually engages with what they're like watching or playing instead of just fucking drooling out the side of their mouth, talking about how rich they are and or I don't know what else he talks about. Probably nothing. You're ableist, canceled, dude. I'm not ableist. I'm XQCist. There's a difference. As your cockpit fades to darkness again, you release the flight sticks and suddenly realize just how long you've been clenching your fist around them. Rude? Dude, well, again, you know, I gotta remind chat who the streamer is and who the streamer isn't. Sometimes I gotta punch up, you know? I gotta punch up at the big leagues. You flex your fingers and roll your shoulders, exhaling again as you begin to hear the muffled sounds of the engineers working on your frame's restraints. Staring at the dead monitor, you slowly begin to smile. This was what you wanted, wasn't it? You'd spent so long worrying about this mission that you've thrown up twice in the past 24 hours, and now it looks like that was all for nothing. You'd got what you wanted, and you were safe. As safe as you can be, strapped to the outside of a military carrier in an inactive armored frame, anyway. Your smile widens inadvertently at the thought. Getting shot down in an inactive frame, still in its restraints, you'd become a cautionary tale for engineers and pilots throughout the entire Jovian colony fleet. Your mind turns quickly to the rest of your squadron. When they returned, you'd be the laughingstock of the entire Kalik. The pilot had spent their entire first mission stuck in a dark cockpit. You dodged a bullet, but you never. This is Kalik 6. They've cut off the flight path. There's more. There's a whole squadron of carriers coming in from Eve Field. Kalik 1, they're going to cut you off from the fleet. Kalik 6's signal disappearing as you sit bolt upright as you begin pressing buttons trying to activate your cockpit's main monitors so you can see what's going on. However, with your frame system shut down remotely by the maintenance crew, you can do nothing but sit in the dark stillness and listen to events unfold. Kalik 6, respond. Kalik 6, what's going on? How many carriers are coming in from E-Field? Ma'am, Kalik 6's signal has been lost. It's not responding. Ma'am, Hold it together, Kalik 4. All units, form up. Defensive formation on me. I said all units. Kalik 2, don't break formation. Ma'am, they're firing on us. There's so many of them. Oh God. Ma'am, help! In an instant, your communications channel is flooded with cries of terror and panic. You hear your squad mates, your fellow pilots, exclamations of fear as this unexpected enemy force bears down on them. Screams and yelps, wails and howls fill your head as you sit powerless in the dark confines of your cockpit. Hey, who's out there? Engineering, hey, get me ready. I can help. Get me ready to launch. Engineering! They're getting killed out there. I need to go, now! You shout demands to get your frame ready for launch over the channel, but are met with no response. In the dark of the cockpit, with your controls unresponsive, you can't be sure whether the channel is closed or if no one's listening, with all attention turned to receiving the battle-damaged units from your squad. Listen to me. Anyone, get me out there! You desperately begin attempting a manual override of your systems, but you find that nothing responds to you. The only spark of life that you can glean from your frame is the small diagnostics progress bar. I need to be out there. Anyone, hey! In one last desperate attempt, you begin hammering on your cockpit walls, hoping to get the attention of the engineers you could hear outside earlier. Excuse me. The entire time, the chaos of the combat out in space is narrated to you in broken fragments of radio chatter. There's 3, 4 on me. I've lost my shield. I can't shake them. They're everywhere. The line of retreat's totally cut off. We can't go back to the ship. Ma'am, what do we do? What do we do? Stop panicking and form up. 3 and 4, on me. We're going to punch a hole through their formation and... Ma'am, come in. Ma'am, oh no. Oh God, oh... One by one, your squad signals disappear, and the cacophony of panic disappears, replaced by the gentle hiss of static. You stop hammering on the side of your cockpit as the last voice is cut off. You're drenched in a cold sweat now, and your empty stomach feels like a rock has sunk to the bottom of it. You lean back and stare blankly ahead. This is Kalik 5. Ready for takeoff. September 21st, Planetary Calendar 209. Despite last-minute reinforcements for the Solar Federation from their headquarters on Earth, the battle above Luna is a victory for the joint Martian and Jovian forces. This would be the final battle of the Solar War. Having lost their last stronghold on Lunar, the Solar Federation would agree to a ceasefire and sign an armistice to end hostilities. An uneasy peace fills the solar system. With the conflict between the Solar Federation and the Martian-Jovian alliance concluded, the Kalik and her crew soon returned to the Europa colony near Jupiter. April 19th, Planetary Calendar 214. The reduced need for pilots away from the delicate space between Earth and Mars saw Ensign Bobanza. It ignored my first name. It ignored my first name. I thought, or maybe Ensign's what they call me. I don't know. I can't tell if they like ignored my first name as Johnny and switched to Ensign or not. That would be crazy. But we'll say Johnny Bobanza, reassigned to security detail above various Jovian ships. He is eventually promoted to lieutenant. 4 years have passed since the battle above Lunar. The Jovian colony fleet, fearing fresh aggression from Earth, has increased patrols near its colonies after picking up unusual signals from further out in the solar system. The patrol ship JFS Gundog is dispatched to support the JFS O'Brien in its investigation of these signals. Jovian space. Aboard the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. As the rumble of the Gundog's engines roaring to life reverberates through the ship, you clench your fists. It's been 4 years, and to this day the sensation of tremors, whether they're ship engines, docking clamps, or weapons drills, still ties your stomach into knots. A bad trait for a ship's security officer. You shake your head and exhale slowly, talking a moment before stowing the last of your possessions and pushing the drawer closed. You feel the click as it locks into place and the exterior plastic paneling sits completely flush with its surroundings. Stepping back, you look around the room. You take another deep breath and hold it for a moment. Although this was far from your first posting as a security officer, you always felt the same sense of trepidation, if not anxiety. Excuse me. Again, talking hard, me no talkie. Oh wait, I have a message. Let me see. Oh, nope, different message. Okay. Give me a quick moment. Alright, I'm freaking back. I know you guys missed me so much for the whole 15 seconds I was off doing something messaging related, but I'm back now. As similar as all the ships were, they all came with their own unique crews and personalities, and with those came unique problems. Breathing out, you take a look around the rooms, taking stock of your surroundings. Excuse me. Yeah. This terminal lets me access the ship's computer. It's got a clock, a word processor, and even a calendar. I can also access records and my orders from here, but for anything else I need to access the core, which is limited to those in operations or command. It's just a normal storage unit. I travel light, so mine only has clothes in it. A standard cruise bunk. Once you've slept in one, you've slept in them all. Although, this is one of the nicer ones I've been assigned to. I just realized I need to, I gotta put my phone on Do Not Disturb. That way it doesn't bing sounds at me. BRB, got a goon? Alright, have fun gooning. I know, you call me a gooner, but it's nice for you to admit that you're also nothing but a gooner. It's nice to know it's been self-projection this whole time. I can get the thought of yourself gooning. You really are a gooner, through and through. The wall panel can be removed by jimmying it with a thin object and crew members often stash contraband there. Looks like this one's not been touched, though. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I heard someone coming up the stairs to my room, but I guess I was mishearing. A standard door with an electronic lock and magnetic bolting system, the only way in or out, unless you plan on getting creative with maintenance tunnels. Alright. Use button to interact with your surroundings, okay. I've only just boarded and it's still the middle of the day based on Jovian Standard Time. There's nothing in here right now that I need, just my uniforms and some toiletries. Oh, it looks like I've been instructed to report to the bridge to meet the captain. I haven't met anyone yet since my transport to the spaceport ran late, and I just about made it on board before launch. Move to move. Okay. Okay, I see. You step out into an empty corridor, and the door to your quarters gently hisses shut behind you. Its keypad gives a short series of beeps, and you hear the lock engage. The dull thrum of the ship's systems is barely audible, but otherwise you are stood in total silence. The air is cooler outside of your quarters, and the corridor has a sterile lack of aroma. This has been the same in every ship you've been stationed on, and at this point, it doesn't surprise you. Okay, so this is a Swift-class patrol vessel, which means if I leave this quarters block, I'll be in the foreside throughfare. If I go right towards the aft, I'll arrive in the central hub, and then I can head to the bridge. Okay. Foreside throughfare. You leave the crew block behind you and find yourself in a much larger corridor that stretches off to your left and with multiple smaller corridors leading from it. To your right, the corridor leads to a large plaza-like space. A very faint breeze coming from your left ruffles your hair and chills you slightly, and you hear the sounds of human activity. From the right, you can hear the hum of the ship's engines more clearly now, as well as the occasional low, quiet whirring sound. Looks like I was right. This portion of the throughfare will let me access both sets of crew quarters, the mess hall, the hangar, and the central hub. From there, I can access the rest of the ship's areas. I should hurry up to meet the captain before I look around anywhere else. The ship's hangar. Since I'm on security detail, the only time I should be spending there is when I'm carrying out my daily checks. On a larger ship, you'd see people coming and going constantly, so it's eerie how quiet this one is. The mess hall. I don't imagine a ship this size has a cook, or even a kitchen, so it's probably just a vend mate unit. I wonder what could be down that way. Fire control, maybe? Okay. Central hub. As you enter the central hub, you hear the low whirring noise and the engines grow louder. You can see the readouts above one of the elevators change, letting you know someone is using it to travel to another part of the ship. Looking around, you see the entrances to both the fore and aft side throughfares, as well as the corridor to the airlocks. Excuse me. These elevators will take me to the bridge where the captain will be. I shouldn't waste any more time. Most of the ship can be accessed from the two throughfares, but some areas like the bridge are situated on different levels, so need to be accessed by elevator. There should be access for maintenance crawlways around here somewhere, but those are usually only for emergencies. Most of the ship can be yep, okay, there should be maintenance, that's just the same for both. That way leads to the aft of the ship. I'm not totally familiar with Swift-class ships, but at the least I know that the engine room is that way. That's the foreside throughfare, where I've just come from. The crew's quarters, hangar, and mess hall are all down that way. Probably. Move to the bridge. Knowing that you need to report to the captain, who, at this point of the ship's journey, should be stationed on the bridge, you make your way towards the elevators and press the call button. You step back and watch the indicators above each elevator, waiting for one to arrive. As you wait, your mind begins to wander, and you're caught unaware as you feel something suddenly jab into your back, and a voice from behind you declares, "Hands in the air, identify yourself." Your posture stiffens as you snap back to reality, caught completely off guard by the voice behind you. Thoughts race through your mind as you try to figure out what's going on. Could there already be another security detail on board? That shouldn't be possible. As far as you knew, you were the only one. Unless... I said hands in the air, punk. You tentatively raise your hands, palms flat and facing forwards, as whatever has been thrust into the small of your back is removed slowly and you hear the person behind you take a step backwards. You exhale and begin to turn around. Lieutenant Bobanza, Security Detail, ID SO254, JFSG. I'm on my way to meet the captain to... Where you'd been expecting a gruff crew member, instead you're met with a bright and cheery officer waving a pen around with a large smile on her face. You're taken aback for a moment, as this isn't just any officer. This is... Cassie, what are you? Johnny, I've missed you so much. And there's a look at my fella. There he is. There's the man, the myth, the legend. You big doofus. You should have seen your face when you turned around. You were all... I love that face you make when you think you're in trouble. It's like you think playing the big soldier will get you out of trouble. It's so cute. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn, you should have known. Or you should have known, really. She's always been one for bad jokes and stupid pranks as long as you've known her. Her less than professional attitude and penchant for irresponsibility is the reason why, despite her talents, she's not commanding a ship of her own. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good did I get you? You totally thought you were being busted, right? But if you're being honest, her playful nature is what attracted you to her in the first place. You've been dating for nearly 2 years now, but a lot of that has been over electronic mail or in letters. Your postings have never lined up, until now. Cassie, what are you doing here? I thought you were stationed on the Reliant. Never said you were being transferred. What happened? Well, the thing about that is, you might say that a disagreement with the head of operations on the Reliant led to a lateral trajectory for my career. Cassandra, please. Okay, so maybe when it came time to change the ship's cybersecurity passwords, I couldn't be bothered to spend all day sitting in the computer core, waiting for it to generate new codes, so I just changed all the existing passwords by a single digit. You place your face in your hands as a dull groan arises from the back of your throat. This isn't the first time you've heard a story like this. And maybe it turns out when they run the cybersecurity drills, they assume that the enemy have your old passwords, so try brute forcing from those. And maybe that meant the ship was compromised in 0.5 seconds. But at least they found out I'd done that in a drill and not in a real engagement, right? I've basically saved the entire ship in advance. Excuse me. I'm surprised you're still even stationed on a ship. How are you not stuck back in a records room at Europa colony right now? Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but if I can't trust you, who can I trust? It turns out this mission was organized at really short notice, and the Gundog was the only ship available. The problem was that they'd been having issues with the crew, so they had to transfer some in short notice. Lucky for me that I'd so recently been made available. That's weird. I'd only just been stationed on the Duke, so I shouldn't have been free to be transferred. Okay, you figured it out. I may have used one of my contacts from the Academy who works in resource to transfer you over here. Pretty sure you know every regulation you broke by doing that. Oh, what was I supposed to do? Get stationed to some tiny ship heading out to the middle of nowhere with no one I know on the crew? We haven't seen each other in months. Aren't you glad to see me? Of course I'm glad to see you. I've missed you too, you know. It's been a long time. You don't become part of the Reliance Operations Department without some serious talent. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, you said you were on your way to see the captain, right? Have you had a chance to take a look around the ship yet? No, not yet. I was going to. Great, I'll show you around. I've been here a few days, so I basically know this ship like the back of my hand. Where do you want to go first? I was on my way to see the captain. I felt the engine start up, so I know we're launching soon, and I thought that I should probably report in as soon as possible. Oh, don't worry about that. I've already logged you on board, so it's just a formality now. Besides, Captain Bartomuse isn't exactly a stickler for procedure, so we can check out anywhere you want before we head up there. Well, alright, in that case... Great! This is going to be the best tour you've ever been on. By the time it's over, you'll have seen every inch of the ship and met everyone on board. It's been so long since we last saw each other, too. We definitely need to take time to stop by my quarters and get reacquainted. And access every area of the Gundog. Talk? You look around the central hub as Cassandra already begins to make her way to your first destination, waving at you to follow. It might be a small ship, you think, but now would be the perfect opportunity to learn its layout and familiarize yourself with where you'll be spending your current duty. Plus, you admit, it wouldn't hurt to meet all the crew. Better to get to know them sooner rather than later. Talk to Cassandra? You know, it's kind of funny now that I think about it. What is? This area is called the Central Hub, but to be honest, the only place you can get to straight away from here are the airlock, sickbay, or the bridge. Well, it's right in the middle of the ship, so it connects everything together with the two throughfares, right? Kind of, but you want to get to the engineering to do some mechanical work, you've got a long way to go that way. Then if you want to do pretty much anything else, you've got to go the other way. The Four Sides Thoroughfare is more of a hub since you can get to all sorts of places really quickly. Get some snacks from the mess hall to take back to your quarters? Easy. If you want a quick soda whilst taking audit in the hangar, you're there and back in no time. You should move the bridge to the front of the ship. Sounds to me like you just want a vending machine on the bridge. Hey, that's not a bad idea. But still, it's a long way to get to the other end of the ship no matter where you're going from. How would you solve that problem? Maybe change the shape of the ship so the center is really the center? It's space, so you can make it a really efficient shape like a cube or something. A cube? I guess it could be efficient, but I don't think anyone would take a cube-shaped ship seriously. You know, it's okay. Let me return. And let me save. Yippee! Let's move. I guess we'll do everything but so let's go. I guess let's do the sick bay. The elevator door hiss open and you both step out into a wide open room. You're immediately struck by the glare of the high-powered lights that are set into the ceiling, and just as you regain your vision, the powerful aroma of clinical disinfectant burns at your nostrils. Looking around, you see the standard features of a sick bay, a set of beds that extrude from the wall on one side and a large gallery window set into the wall on the other, indicating the presence of a surgery wing. The walls are lined with cupboards and cabinets containing medical supplies and various devices sit on countertops. In the middle of the room is a large desk set to face the entrance. On the side closest to you are two chairs, and on the other sits a figure that you almost mistake for a piece of medical equipment until they look up. Miss Quinn? Excellent timing. I've just finished the analysis of your... Hey Doc, don't worry about that right now. I'm giving a tour to our new security officer. Very good, Miss Quinn. Hello, Lieutenant Bobanza. I'm the ship's doctor, Cypher Rosarium. I've reviewed your file already, so please feel free to stop by with any complaints. But since you're here, Miss Quinn, I'd really like to talk about your guest strep. Honestly, Doctor, it's fine. We can talk about it. Intestinal. Doctor, later. Distress. Okay, Doctor. A moment, please. Honey, if you could just give me a few minutes with the doctor? Yeah, no problem. Cassandra grabs the doctor by his sleeve and drags him over to the surgery wing, yanking him through behind her. Once the door closes, you can't hear them, but you can still see the two through the gallery window. You decide to turn your attention away and examine a nearby poster on a space illness. Yes, thank you, Doctor. I understand. So that includes any synthetic meats or carbohydrates? Understood. But as I've explained, I've got a full supply of Nutri-Shake powders that should serve as a balanced replacement for the meals from the food vendor and should alleviate your... Doctor! Tummy troubles. This tour is moving on. So before I do the thoroughfares, let's do the airlock. And this is the main airlock. It's the main way to get on and off the ship when it's docked. Thanks, but I've already been here. Oh, really? When? Actually, I think I'm confusing it with somewhere else. What else can you tell me? Well, it's got one of the best views on the ship for one thing. You look around but can't see any windows. You wouldn't expect to on a military vessel where an inclusion like that could compromise the structure. Excuse me? Here? Really? Yeah, really. Check it out. Cassandra strides over to the terminal set into the wall next to the airlock hatch and quickly begins typing commands into it. You hear a sequence of beeps and she stands back, gesturing proudly to the screen. Not too bad, huh? You look at the screen, but all you can see is a dark display with a few errant pixels suspended on it. Is that working? Of course it's working. Look! You stare a little harder at the screen, and although it takes you a moment, you eventually realize. That's an external feed! That's right. Normally you can only actually see out of the Gundog from either the bridge or the hangar. But this ship's covered in small cameras for combat situations. You can access the feeds from the terminals around the ship. That's actually pretty cool. But isn't the view from the bridge or the hangar better? You know, because you're actually looking out? Well, maybe, but there's always someone else around. You never get the view to yourself. No one ever comes here, and it's so quiet. It's almost like you're out there. I guess I can see what you mean. It's pretty quiet out this way, and with a fancy screen like that, it's basically the real view. Excuse me. I knew you'd understand. I'll add the command to your terminal access. That way you can come out here and see the stars whenever you want. Thanks. So, do you come out to the airlocks a lot? Define a lot. More than once for coming on board and once for departing. There's nothing wrong with hanging out in the airlock. Sometimes you just need a bit of personal space. On a small ship like this, it's the only place you can really get some time to yourself. Even on a big ship like the Reliant, there's not too many places to get away from everyone. I just find it really relaxing to know I'm this close to being out in space, away from everything, everyone. Sometimes it feels like I was made to be out there, not cooped up in here. Didn't know you enjoyed that part of space. For most people, looking out into the expanse for too long triggers a kind of existential dread. I knew a guy on another ship that couldn't bear to look out into space. He'd start getting the jitters whenever he did. Sometimes if he got drunk on duty, he'd start saying all kinds of weird stuff about how humanity's souls were never meant to be unbound from gravity. I don't know. It's just like there's something out there that's calling me, you know? Well, that's until I'm late for my shift and the captain sends out a ship-wide message telling me to haul ass up to the bridge. Then I know there's something calling me. So, I swear, not one for patient-doctor confidentiality. That man is like a laser beam. He gets straight to whatever task is in front of him with no time for things like common courtesy, bedside manner, or privacy. Yeah, I got that impression. The worst part is that after all of that, he tells me I'm allergic to synthetic elements they use in the mess hall's food vendor. Can you believe I'm on a Nutri-Shake diet between now and when we return to port? I thought those ingredients were supposed to be hypoallergenic. No animal products suitable for everyone. I know, but the doctor's saying that it's a rare condition that means I react to one of the compounds they use in the production. So no more hamburgers for you? But there's one silver lining. What's that? The vending machine used real ingredients. Chocolate and chips are still on the menu. An important part of any balanced diet. Ah, Lieutenant, are you feeling unwell? No, I'm feeling fine. Have you come to pick up any medication? No, I'm totally alright, thanks. Have you come for a precautionary checkup? No, nothing like that. Then are you here to ask about my mechanical elements? What? No, of course not. Oh. Well, in that case, Lieutenant Babanza, I'm not sure I can help you today. Don't worry about it. Alright, so we were at the airlock. Now we're going to go to the aft throughfare. As the two of you leave the central hub behind you and travel down the aft side throughfare, the hum of the engine continues to grow louder. You've effectively filtered the noise out in the rest of the ship, but as you get closer to the rear of the ship, its volume increases considerably. Are the engines supposed to be that loud? Are the what? I said, are the engines supposed to be that loud? The what? I said, are the engines? I heard you the first time. I'm just messing with you. You could have fooled me. I've never been on a ship where the engines are so noticeable. Is it supposed to be like that? Supposed to? No, not really, but the Gundog is a Swift class, a type of patrol ship that's designed for rapid response. They're made to cover large areas of space quickly and offer basic assistance to ships in distress. That, or to be the first on the scene to gather intel and issue warnings if anyone else comes too close to Jovian space. Which means, design-wise, they've prioritized speed above everything else. I guess the best way to sum it all up is that the Gundog is basically a huge set of engines with a tiny ship strapped to them. Well, that's reassuring. Oh, it's fine. It just means there's no space for systems like motion dampeners or soundproofing. You'll miss it when you leave. There is an upside to these vibrations coming from the engines. Oh yeah? Check this out. You watch as Cassandra crouches down, takes out a pen from a pocket, and lays it on the floor. As soon as she removes it from her hand, it begins to slowly edge away from her, moved by the vibrations carried through the ship. Ta-da! That's great? I know, right? Back on the Reliant, we used to go out to the engine rooms and race stationary on the gangways near the engines. I had a red pen that moved 3 times faster than anything else. 3 times faster, huh? You know it. Can't believe I lost it, though. Oh hey, what have you got in your pockets? My keycard and a pack of gum. Why? The race is on. First from this panel to that panel. The loser buys us something from the vending machine. Gonna use my gum. Okay, let's go with gum. Place your packet of gum on the floor next to the pen and stand up. A tense 30 seconds follow as the two objects slowly jitter their way along the floor, almost neck and neck the entire way. Ooh. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Come on, Bureau. You've got this. You can do this, Gum. The sporting event of the century looks like it'll end in a draw, but at the last minute, your packet of gum slowly moves off on a different direction. This allows Cassie's pen to take the lead and pass over the seam between one floor panel and the other. Ah! Yes! Drinks are on you! Let's go Armory. You swipe your keycard through the card reader set into the terminal by the Armory's door. Instead of the door opening as you would expect, you hear a harsh tone from the terminal. Looking at its screen, you see a message displayed in large flashing letters. Access denied. Insufficient authority. Looks like your clearance hasn't been fully processed yet. You'll have to meet the captain before you can get into that room. And engineering? As the two of you continue the aft through fare, the thrum of the engines grows louder still. The featureless paneling that has made up the majority of the ship's interior quickly gives way to visible pipes and conduits, and eventually, the smooth flooring transitions to grating, revealing more working underfoot. Finally, the throughfare leads onto one huge open chamber filled with masses of machinery. Terminal panels set into the side of various apparatus cycle through different readings, the light from the screens reflected off ducts and valves. All of this equipment is separated by a grid of catwalks and access ladders. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is right. This is central engineering. Pretty much every system aside from the engines themselves and the central computer can be found in this room. All in one place. Isn't that a little risky? Well, a Swift-class ship relies on an absolutely minimal crew. The Gundog only has 2 engineers. I think they figured it'd be easier on them if everything that was important was kept in one place. That way they don't have to run from one end of the ship to another to get all their repairs done if something goes wrong. Huh, you certainly know a lot about ship engineering. What can I say? I'm a pretty talented individual. Oh yeah? Whilst we're here, can you share some of that knowledge? What's that over there? That's the Pholonic Conversion Unit. And what's that? Oh, that's the Omnifaceted Wane Shaft. Uh-huh. What about that? That's the Turbo Encabulator? Every day's a school day. I'm head of operations, not chief engineer, okay? I don't need to know what. Hey, no one better be screwing around up there. You both jump as a stern voice barks at you from below. Looking down, you see through the grating that there's another catwalk situated below the one you stood on, with the crew member moving at speed towards the ladder that joins the 2 walkways. I swear, if I find so much as a single terminal readout out of place, I'm stuffing the 2 of you into the organics processing system. If I have to retrieve one more pen from behind the compressors, the crew member continues to grumble as they ascend. Quinn, you better not be here to tell me that your favorite pen has somehow fallen into the system block again. No, Chief. Got it right here. Damn straight you do. Now make sure you hang on to that one, or you're going to need someone to pull you out of the system block instead. And who's this? Our wayward security officer? You got a name there? You quickly throw a sharp salute at the woman in front of you without even checking her rank first. Not only does she loom over you physically, but you quickly pick up on a force of personality that feels like it adds an extra 6 inches to her considerable stature. Lieutenant Bobanza, security officer for the JFS Gundog, ma'am. Less of that ma'am business, Bobanza. Name's Mackenzie Cathays, Chief Engineer, but that's Chief to you. Yes, Chief. Damn straight. Now, what are the two of you doing in engineering? Excuse me. I was just giving Lieutenant Bobanza a tour of the ship, Chief. That's so. You never been on a ship before, Lieutenant? First assignment? Never on a Swift class, Chief. I've only served on strike or supply classes to date. That's so. Which strike vessels? The JFS Victory and the JFS Thunderbolt, Chief. Victory and Thunderbolt, huh? I don't think either of those two are less than 3 years old, so probably wouldn't have seen what the new streamlined distribution systems. I wonder if you would have seen the power coils, though. I think the Victory was part of that production. You and Cassandra exchange a quick, nervous glance as the Chief, who had previously seemed like she was about to physically throw both of you out of engineering, suddenly begins a conversation with herself. I will say, out of the 2-3 characters I've seen so far, this character seems like the one the internet would get in an uproar over the most. Good way. A good type of uproar, I should say. Seems like the one that would have a lot of fan art made about them. Actually, yeah, for sure. Because, like, she would follow the Grace Howard trend of mechanical girl who seems a bit buff that people could get into. That's where my line of... That's why I thought that in the... Well, also because the muscular girl as well. So you mix muscular girl, mechanical girl, combine them together. I'm sure if this game gets some popularity to it, there would be quite the fan art fever around this character based on those two factors alone. Oop. How do I... Okay, there we go. You and Cassandra exchange a quick, nervous glance as the Chief, who'd previously seemed like she was about to physically throw both of you out of engineering, suddenly begins a conversation with herself. You continue to stand to a nervous attention as she ruminates about ship components. Chief, is there, anything I can help you with about those ships? Oh, huh? Lieutenant, didn't realize you were still here. No, you're off the hook, Bobanza. Unless you can tell me whether the Victory was outfitted with a 3rd generation B-Pack upgrades anyway. Sorry, Chief. Don't think I could. Wonder if that's because the retrofitting takes into account space availability in the ship's interior for minimal traversal impact. Although maybe it could be that it takes... I think now would be a good time for us to move on. Good idea. Excuse me. Well, that's all, Chief. We'll just be... going now. Oh yeah, sure. Just don't let me catch you screwing around in here again. Okay, but really, when Chief says we shouldn't screw around in here, she's right. We should probably get moving. What did you do? Why would you say that? Really though, who the hell dropped a chocolate bar onto the secondary moisture converter? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go! It's melted into the outlet valve. I'll kill them! Wait, what the hell did you do? Oh shit, found the quick save button. Okay, but really, when the cheat we should... What did you do? Why would you say that? Really? Chocolate bar. Alright. I guess let's go Central Computer. You swipe your keycard through the card reader set into the terminal by the door leading to Central Computer. The door doesn't open, and instead you hear a harsh tone. Yep. Access denied. Oh, even with your security clearance, you won't be able to go into the main computer room. Because the staff is so small, the ship's computer handles a lot of tasks that would normally be done by the crew. It controls a lot of really sensitive functions, so only the captain and the operations team are allowed access. Oh, I don't think any of the ships I've been on have had a computer system like this. The bigger ships usually have their computing distributed amongst multiple systems across the ship. But, because they've also got larger crews, there's more that the people on board are responsible for. I think that because the Swift class is so small and there's such a limited crew, they need to assign more functionality to the computer. Because of that, it's a lot more vital that no one screws around with it. I see. You said that operations have access. Can we take a look using your authority? Well, since the whole reason I'm here is that I didn't exactly take my responsibilities with the Reliance computer system seriously, the captains told me not to mess around with it. Ah, but it's not that interesting anyway. And engines? Two of you watch from around a corner as Chief Cathays continues to mutter to herself, paces back and forth checking terminal readouts and various displays. Eventually she heads down the ladder that she'd climbed to confront you. Now out of sight, Cassandra darts towards the engine room, gesturing you over. Checking over your shoulder in case the chief has reappeared, you make your way to her, just in time for the doorway to the engine room to open and Cassandra to disappear inside before you can raise an objection. Well, it's gotta be better than staying here with the chief. The room you find yourself in is a similar size to the area you just left, but whilst that was crammed full of huge range of machinery, this room is almost entirely filled by one colossal cylindrical device. And give me a quick moment. Alright, and I'm back. The pulse of the engine is now a tangible sensation as the vibrations it emits shake your whole body. So this is the main engine. Well, one of them anyway. Like Chief said, this ship's outfitted with two of these. Excuse me? I see what you mean now when you said the Gundog's a huge set of engines with a ship strapped to them. This thing's Excuse me again. This thing's massive. I know, I look at it and I feel like you could probably fit the rest of the ship in this room if the engine weren't there. That's because it's impossible to get the Higgs field distortion drive any smaller. Ah, Chief! Oh, Chief, I know you said, So, these engines are actually combination nuclear pulse engines built around the Higgs field distortion drive. If the HFDD wasn't here, then the engine could be about 10 times smaller than it is. Although I hear they've managed to improve the efficiency of newer NPEs, so it's possible that the space saving could be more like 11 times smaller. Can either of you two tell me how an HFDD works? HFDD? Higgs Field Distortion Drive. What are they teaching you at the Academy? It's the drive that allows ships to move far beyond speeds allowed by conventional engines, although it's nowhere near faster than light. It's what lets us get around the solar system without needing to worry whether we'll live long enough to see the end of the journey. Anyway, everyone knows about the existence of the Higgs field. It's what allows interactions with the Higgs boson that gives particles their mass. Oh, right. So what the drive does is warp the field relative to the ship and those on board. By doing this, it displaces the mass to a different area of space, but within the same relative. As the chief continues on with her explanation, you glance at Cassandra and see a thinly veiled look of terror on her face. You can't blame her as you feel much the same way caught in this impromptu lecture. Then, because the particles retain their relationship with each other, the general perception is that things are the same as normal. However, from an exterior perspective, the lecture drags on and you quickly lose track of the chief's explanation. Although you recognize the words she's saying, you can no longer make sense of the context, and they come to seem like a meaningless string of sounds. Does that make sense? Yeah, so the field is it's got the mass, which is pushed? No. How to put it? Okay, so imagine that space is a ketchup packet, and you're the sauce. The sauce? Right, the sauce. Now, what the distortion does, it's like a thumb on the universe of the packet. It moves the sauce around by changing the shape of the packet to push the sauce. The packet is the universe, we're the sauce, and the drive is a thumb? You've got it! You quickly glance back to Cassandra and meet her eyes as she's doing the same thing. You know for certain that neither of you have got it. And that's why these engines have to be so big, to house that drive. Oh, it all makes sense now. I see. Yes, definitely. Great, well, now that you appreciate the science behind it, I won't have to throw you out of here. Thanks, Chief. Anytime. Just remember, Lieutenant. Yes, Chief? Screw with anything and I'll throw you out of the airlock instead. Yes, Chief. Sauce? So, we're the sauce, right? And the universe is the packet. I thought that the field was the packet. But then is the field in the universe or the universe in the field? We're going to have some very theoretically challenging meal times. Alright. Aft through fair. Armory I can't go in, so we'll go back to the central hub. Then let's go to the Foresight through fair. As you head away from the central hub, the noise from the engine becomes quieter and ambient temperature feels noticeably cooler. The thoroughfare stretches out in front of you with doorways leading to the other areas of the ship visible in the distance. I would just like to say, I think I understood what she was saying. Basically, universe ketchup packet, we're the sauce in the ketchup, and the field essentially is using its thumb to artificially make it so that we're capable of moving through the universe. I understood it. I would just like to say, I think I understood what the explanation the chief was going for at the end was. Even if I didn't understand the big scientific one too well, the more the example she used to try to explain it, I believe I understood what she was saying with that one. So, you know, in my defense, I would just like to say I am smarter than my character. It's actually a super easy visual to get. I'm shocked the game pulled it off so well. I can even do it with this empty bag I have here, of just the bag being the universe, the air being the ketchup in my hands, my thumb or whatever being the field drive. How it allows the air to push in or out. The thoroughfare stretches out in front of you with doorways leading to other areas of the ship visible in the distance. And here we are in the Four-field thoroughfare. I know, I went to my quarters earlier when I came aboard. What did you just say? A four-side thoroughfare? No, I didn't think you did. I 100% said four-side fair. Aha! It's a tricky thing to say. You try saying it quickly. Four-side thoroughfare, four-side thoroughfare, four-side thoroughfare. Aha, yourself! We'll call this one a draw, Lieutenant. Four-side thoroughfare, four-side thoroughfare, four-side thoroughfare, four-side thoroughfare. Dang it! Let's go to crew quarters. Shit, there's a lot here. Before I hit the crew quarters corridors, let's fire control. Moving beyond the mess hall and the hangar access, the two of you continue to the furthest end of the four-side thoroughfare. The door at the very end of the corridor is shut. The words "Fire Control" painted on it in large, stenciled letters. Cassandra swipes her keycard through the reader by the door before turning to you. So this is fire control. The gunner's probably here, but, well, you'll see. That's pretty cryptic. As you follow Cassandra through the doorway, your eyes take a moment to adjust to the strip lighting that illuminates the rest of the ship is now conspicuously absent. Instead, the entire room is lit by the phosphorescent glow from an alcove full of screens and readouts. Looking at the screens, each one seems to not be showing much more than a few specks on a black background. From experience, though, you know that what you are looking at is a live feed from cameras all over the ship's exterior. In the center of this alcove, facing away from you, is a seat like the ones on the bridge. From this angle, it's impossible to tell if there's anyone in it, but you notice a tiny rhythmic hiss coming from it. And just give me a quick moment. I need to go use the restroom, so I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit. Alright, that seems to be a good volume. Alright, I'll be right back. Gotta go use the restroom. Don't miss me. Sorry, don't miss me too much. I think I muted before I could say that. So, saying it again. BRB. JK, looks like I'm back. Someone's currently using the bathroom, so I cannot use the bathroom myself. Let me turn the music down again. Okay, yeah, stuff's still coming through. Shoot. Oh, shit, I accidentally closed it. Fuck. Oh, I hope I saved that at a recent point. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to...
スペースコロニーステディオス
Shit. Is it streaming? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh yeah, now I have to adjust the size again, maybe? Yes, I do. Okay. Alright. Go to the engines. We already did all this. I'm just repeating stuff that way. The game registers that I've done it. After through fair, I would have gone everywhere I could have here. Central. Or side. And I went to fire control. Okay, here's where we were. As you follow Cassandra through the doorway. Yep, I read all that. Okay. Looking at the screens. Yep. Yep. Okay, there we go. In the center of this alluve, facing away from you, is a seat like the ones on the bridge. From this angle, it's impossible to tell if there's anyone in it, but you notice a tiny rhythmic hiss coming from it. So anyway, all the ship's weapons systems are controlled from here. These screens give the gunner a panoramic view of... Is the gunner here right now? You look over Cassandra's shoulder at the back of the seat. You swear you see a quick flicker of movement, but you can't be sure if it's not just the flash of a readout reflecting off the surface. Oh, Dylan. Yeah, he's here. Should we say hello? Well, normally I would, but... Cassandra leans back slowly as if trying to surreptitiously sneak a peek at what's going on, or at what's on the other side of the chair without it noticing her. It quickly turns back to you after a moment's pause. He just looks so in the zone, you know? It seems a shame to interrupt him. Interrupt what? Cassandra leans back again and after a moment quickly gestures for you to come take a look. Sat in the chair is a man who looks a little bit older than you. His eyes are closed and his face is a picture of absolute serenity. Over his ears are possibly the single largest pair of headphones you've seen in your entire life. As he sits there, oblivious to your presence, his right leg bounces up and down and his wrists flick constantly. You wonder for a moment if he's okay before spying a cassette player poking out of his jacket pocket. You realize that the hiss you hear is the slightest whisper of the music that he's listening to escape from those substantial headphones. Is this okay? Shouldn't he be a bit more attentive? Don't worry, it's fine. He's not even on duty. Yeah, but what if there's an alert? Let's find out. Cassandra moves over to the panel just before the monitor laid in alluve takes a receiver off the wall and enters a few numbers into the keyboard. Hi, Vanessa? Yeah, it's Cassie. Can we test the alert system in fire control? No, I know, it's not scheduled. It's a spot check. Yeah, random testing, you know? Chief's orders. Of course she asked. Why would I be asking for a spot test of the alert in fire control if Chief didn't ask? You're a darling. Thanks. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Loud! In an instant, you see the figure in the chair bolt upright, yank their headphones off, and lay their hands on the fire control systems, their heads snapping back and forth as they rapidly survey the wall of monitors. False alarm? Hey, Dylan, don't mind us. Just had to do a spot check on the alarm system. Chief's orders. Oh, hey, Quinn. No problem. Who's this? Lieutenant Johnny Bobanza, ship security. Oh, hey, Warrant Officer Dylan Dees, Warrant Officer Dylan Dees, Gunner. Welcome aboard. Thanks. Well, let me know if you guys need anything. That alert totally got in the way of an awesome solo, so I'm going to rewind and pick up where I left off. Good to meet you? Just once I was hoping he wouldn't be here. Oh? Yeah, this place would be such a good room to relax in and take the view of the stars. Day or night, he's always in here, either spacing out himself or drumming away. I'm so jealous. Most heads of operations would kill for a crew member who was at their station day or night, you know. But this is weird. The only times I've seen him leave is when the ship's docked. I've come by at all sorts of random times, and he's always here. I don't like it. How much of that is jealousy? Warrant Officer Dees? Warrant Officer Dees? Dylan. Oh, hey, Lieutenant. How's it going? Not bad, thanks. I was just wondering if you could explain the control system here to me. It doesn't look like what I've seen before. Huh? Oh yeah, if you've not been on a small ship like the Gundog, it probably does look weird. The bigger ships have more crew spares, so they can have old-fashioned turret operators, excuse me. On a ship like this, where it's only one dude flying solo, the whole system's optimized to let them run the entire weapon system solo. Each of these trackballs links up with a different weapon system, which is represented by a reticle shown on the screen. By rolling the balls, I can move the targeting reticle from screen to screen and fire. All I need to do is point and click. That's pretty clever. Only works so well because we've got the computer doing most of the heavy lifting. On bigger ships, the gunners have a lot more physical control. On a ship like this, it's more like playing a really intense video game. I never really liked those spaceship video games. I'd rather play a racing game or something instead. It's not too bad. Now the war's over, we're not shooting anyone anytime soon. So, I get to spend all my time in here listening to music and staring out into space. It's pretty much perfect. Listening to anything good? Yeah, a real classic album right now. Ever hear of Trish and the Replicants? No, sorry. Come by later and I'll lend you a cassette. It's pretty good for such an old band. Thanks for the offer. Alright, let's go to the hangar. As the two of you head down the foreside thoroughfare and away from the crew quarters, Cassie stops by a double-sized doorway and runs her keycard through the reader next to it. Watch your step, she instructs, tapping her knuckle on a large warning sign next to the door that reads, Low Gravity Zone. Once the door opens and she heads through and you follow her into a wide stairwell, it only takes 2 sets of steps before you can feel yourself grow lighter. By the time you reach the doorway at the bottom, you're almost floating. Stepping into the hangar and onto the catwalk, the first thing that strikes you are the profiles of the 2 armored frames stood as if on guard, facing into the main area of the hangar. Although you fully expected to see them here, every Jovian ship features at least a few. The sight of the armored frame stirs uncomfortable memories in you, and you inadvertently grit your teeth and squeeze the handrail you've grabbed tightly. Ma'am, they're firing on us. There's so many of them. Oh God, ma'am, help! The line of retreat's totally cut off. We can't get back to the ship. Ma'am, what do we do? What do we do? Stop panicking and form up. On me. We're going to punch a hole straight through their formation and... Hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I think it's just the change in gravity level. Left me a little bit queasy. I know how you feel. I was late for a hangar audit once and rushed down straight after a big lunch. I was moving so fast that with the gravity shift, my stomach contents couldn't keep up. Gross. Tell me about it. I did everything I could to keep my mouth shut. You know the rule for low gravity zones. What you spew is left up to you. I wasn't going to be late and on cleanup duty. Speaking of duties, shouldn't there be someone around here? Dalton should be around here somewhere. If you're feeling funny, stay here for a moment and I'll go see if I can find him. Sure. You watch as, despite the 15-meter difference between the catwalk and the hangar floor, Cassie nonchalantly places her two hands on the handrail and deftly vaults over it into the emptiness. Thanks to the low gravity, she doesn't fall, but instead kicks off the railing, propelling herself through the air. As Cassandra drifts off, eventually catching onto one of the armored frame's legs and using it to swing herself around to float in a different direction, you place your elbow on the railing and your head in your hand. You turn your attention back to the stoic features on the armored frame's heads and sigh deeply. Your attention is caught by the cockpit hatch on one of the frames being half open. Looking around, you see everything as you'd expect. Armored frame weapon racks, storage containers, various equipment, all of it restrained appropriately and fastidiously arranged. The cockpit hatch is the only thing that breaks that pattern. It's weird, I can't find him anywhere. I know it's definitely his shift right now, so he should be around somewhere. Looking past Cassandra at the armored frame with the ajar cockpit hatch, a thought strikes you. I think I might have an idea. Follow me. You carry out the same vaulting maneuver that Cassie had performed and kick off towards the huge machine's cockpit. Once close enough, you grab a hold of its arm and pull yourself up towards the open hatch. A few seconds later, Cassie appears beside you, and you both notice the sound of gentle snoring coming from within the cockpit. Well, Lieutenant Commander, I think this is an operations issue, so I'll let you handle it. Leaving the discipline up to me again, huh? Leaving the discipline commission up to me again, huh? Cassandra nimbly clambers up the armored frame, positioning herself right above the cockpit. Bracing herself on the machine's chest, she brings her heel down sharply and repeatedly on the armor. Cadet Grange, attention! You hear a muffled scream from within the cockpit, followed by a dull thud, a string of muttered cursing, and then finally a figure emerges from the cockpit. Ah, ma'am, I was just checking the calibrations. The calibrations on the AF. I'd got some feedback that... Oh, it's just you, Commander Quinn. Excuse me, Cadet? Just? Is that how you address a superior officer, Cadet? Ma'am. No, ma'am. I was not expecting to see you in the hangar, ma'am. Okay, you can tone it down a bit, Dalton. Oh, yes, ma'am? Good enough, I suppose. Anyway, Cadet, this is Lieutenant Bobanza, Ship Security Officer. Sir, Cadet Dalton Grange, Junior Engineer. Good to meet you, Cadet. Looks like they've got you working hard. Looks like... Oh, no, sir. Well, that is, yes, sir, but not so hard I'm falling asleep. No, sir, I was just recalibrating the sensor array on the... Take it easy, Cadet. We've all taken a nap in a cockpit in our lives. Well... Of course we never took cockpit naps with the Chief giving us our orders, so you probably need to get back on whatever you were doing, huh? Ah, I totally forgot. She's going to kill me. Good kid, alright? I feel sorry for him already. I wish I'd worn my uniform trousers today. What's up? I was thinking we could play low-gravity tag or something, but now that Dalton's back up and about, we can't. I don't think he's going to snitch on you anytime soon. That's not what I meant. That's not what I mean. I don't follow? Honestly, have you considered the issues of floating around in a skirt? Oh, just count yourself lucky. I would have kicked your ass. Hey, Cadet, how's it go? Ah! Hey there, take it easy. It's just me. Oh, Lieutenant, sorry. I thought you were someone else. What's this crew possibly doing that's got you so jumpy? Oh, it's not the crew. It's just the Chief. She really likes a surprise inspection and making sure that I'm working as fast as she expects me to. At least once a day At least once a day, I'll think I'm alone somewhere, and then suddenly, Cadet Dalton, report! I don't know how she does it. I'll have an eye on the entrance the entire time, and she can still appear from nowhere. I think she uses the maintenance ducts. Okay, take it easy. I'm pretty sure it's just us in here. Okay, if you're sure. Anyway, how can I help, Lieutenant? I'm just getting to know the ship and its crew, finding out what they're all about. Oh, huh. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. So, what are you up to here, Cadet? Oh, I'm actually working on 2 projects at the moment as part of my engineering degree. The first is my own project, a high-density rapid expansion emergency sealant for hull breaches. I've been working on a compound that's designed to be released in case of a breach and seal up cracks to prevent atmosphere loss. Sounds pretty impressive. How's that going? Not too well, Lieutenant. I intended it to be used within the ship as a safety measure for the crew. But the technical officer who oversees my progress back at the academy has instructed me to find a way to weaponize it. He thinks it'd be good for immobilizing enemy AFs. That still seems like it's being put to good use if it's cutting down on casualties, don't you think? I guess so. What's the second? Oh, that's just something I'm working on for the Chief. It's a set of modifications for a Juno to increase its mobility in space. Cadet Dalton, report. Ah, ma'am. Ah, Chief. Yes, Chief. Currently in the process of... I think I'll just leave him to get on with it. Where did she come from anyway? Alright. So far, I gotta say, I am liking the little bits of character writing that we're getting. Obviously, like, they're introductory phases, so it's not too much, but I feel like I'm getting a solid idea of what each character is going to be like, even through these brief little intros. Also, I just got that bad feeling. I feel like we're being with Cassandra too long, and she's being presented as likable. I feel like something awful is going to happen to her to close the prologue. I'm hoping I'm wrong, because I like Cassandra so far. So I'm really hope she's not being set up here just to kind of be fridged later, if anyone's even familiar with that term. But I just got that feeling that she's being set up as, you know, the girlfriend and nice person, just for something bad to happen to her to close off this prologue chapter and get us into the meat of the story. But with the game being called Stories from the Gundog, you know, I could also be wrong there, and it could just be more slice of life type occasions with the eventual reminders of the aftermath of war or what have you. I'm more hoping it's that latter one, to be honest. Let's go to the mess hall. And here we have the highlight of this entire tour, the mess hall. Cassandra's face is radiating happiness as she gestures through the double doorway that you're stood by into the mess hall. Looking inside, you see a canteen like any other. Tables, chairs, vending machines. It's all here. This is the highlight. It looks like a pretty standard mess hall to me. You bet. Do you know why? Tell me. Because they've got both of the different kinds of vending machines. The red one that stocks the spicy potato chips, and the right one that has the different chocolate bars. Wow. So that's all bases covered, huh? They've got all the fundamental food groups. Not sure. Hey, Quinn! A rough voice calls out from further in. You hadn't noticed them previously because of Cassandra's enthusiastic presentation of the vending machines, but someone sat in the far corner, stands up, drops a half-smoked cigarette into a coffee cup, and strides over. What's going on, Quinn? Who's this? Lieutenant Rumney, were you just smoking in the mess hall? Ah, take it easy, Quinn. I was sat right by the extractor vent for the meal vendor. No harm, no foul. That's not the point. The extra strain on the air scrubbers from the cigarette... Yeah. So anyway, who's this hottie? Well, cat's got her tongue. Name's Harv Rumney. What about you, good looking? Oh, Lieutenant Johnny Bobanza, ship security. Johnny Bobanza. No way, really? Last time I checked. Well, alright. Good to know. That's all for me, Bobanza. You know where my quarters are, right? Haha, nice. Catch you later. What was that all about? Cassie? You know where their room is, do you? I mean, I do. It's near mine. That's not what... Their room is right by mine. Yeah, I shouldn't have answered. You know what's... Actually, don't worry about it. Chose the wrong answer on that one. Cassie, shall we get some chips or something? Okay, then. Cassie, before we go, do you want something from the vending machine? Chocolate? Chips? Soda? Don't think I don't know what you're trying to do, Lieutenant. I promise I didn't get what Harv was saying about their room. Okay, but it's going to be a chocolate bar. Okay, sure. Wait, 2 chocolate bars. Sure. Wait, 3! Crew quarters. Your quarters are down this way, huh? That's right. Why? I was wondering where you'd be. On a Swift class, there's 2 different quarters sections. One has all the department chiefs, whilst the other has the crew that work within these departments. Since you're the only security officer on board, I was wondering if you'd count as a department head or not. Well, I guess I don't. I'm just slumming it. Oh, that's not... What I meant was that, I'm messing with you. Don't worry about it. The head of security is typically under the captain's instruction anyway, so it makes sense that my quarters are down this way. I guess so, when you put it like that. So have you met any of your neighbors yet? Well, let's see. You know, it's rude to keep a girl hanging around. What do you mean? Here we are, just hanging out in the corridor like a pair of weirdos. Shouldn't you be inviting me into your quarters or something? Give me the tour. It's probably identical to your quarters, so... But you know, I guess it'd be good for you to see them. Go into my quarters. As you step into your quarters, Cassandra follows you in. She stands by the door for a moment, looking around the room before turning to face you. Wow, you really like to keep it tidy, don't you? Only just got here. It's not a lot of time to make a mess. You kidding? I'm pretty sure my bag exploded the moment I stepped into my quarters. Jovian military supplies just aren't what they used to be. Or maybe it was operator error? And what's that supposed to mean, Lieutenant? Nothing, just considering all possibilities. Wait, is that... What? Lieutenant Bobanza, don't tell me that. What is it? Your chair, it's not perfectly aligned with the terminal. I guess nobody's perfect, huh? Would have made more of an effort if I knew the officer doing spot checks was such a stickler. I suppose I won't have to report you to the captain this time, Lieutenant. Hey, want to see something cool? I feel like this may be a bad idea, but go on. Alright, I've always loved your sense of adventure. Now check this out. If you work your fingers under the bottom of one of the panels by your bunk, you can take off its mounting, and there's a recess behind it that you can stash contraband in. Oh? How about this floor panel? Did you know that if you use something strong enough, you can pry it open and it leads to a crawl space below the decks that you can use to get to the other areas of the ship? Yeah. Alright, but I bet you didn't know that if you logged into your terminal and entered a secret code that you can play Snake? That too, sorry. Well fine, I guess you probably know every secret on the ship then. Well, not every secret, but I am a security officer. I've seen and caught every trick there is when it comes to contraband, crew breaking fraternization rules, or system exploits. It'd have to get pretty technical to get past me. Wait, how do you know all of this? Oh, well, that is, back to the tour. We already went in, so let's go back here. Crew quarters, corridor 2. And this is the second set of crew quarters where operations staff, that's me and Vanessa, the department heads, and the captain have their quarters. Makes sense. Of course, it's obvious why you'd come this way so soon after finding out I was part of your crew. What do you mean? I'm supposed to be meeting the captain soon. I know, and despite that, you're letting your libido guide you to my quarters, you animal. Let's maybe save that for later, okay? You tease. So, we're just gonna hang around the corridor outside my quarters then? Know where you're in a hurry to go? Honestly. Captain's quarters sits at the end of the corridor, differentiated from the other doors in the corridor by the small insignia that sits above the nameplate. Like the others in the corridor, it displays the occupant's name, in this case, Captain Mares Bartomeusz. Given in your role as security officer, there are a few rooms on the ship that you don't have access to. The captain's quarters is one of them. There's nothing for you here right now, so you turn back. Oh, by the way, if you ever want access to my quarters, the passcode for the lock is 0211. Pretty much the same passcode I use for everything. 0211. Got it. That's right, it's... Come on, you didn't think I'd forget, did you? Hey, good job! Oh, wait! Before you go in, can you give me a few minutes just to tidy the place up? I was almost late for my duty shift this morning, so it's kind of a mess. Let me put some stuff away, okay? Yeah, sure. Keeping herself between you and the entrance to her room, Cassandra opens the door using the control panel to its right. As it opens, she swiftly steps through, and before it's even all the way open, closes it again using the panel on her side of the entrance. The entire time she obstructs your view of her quarters. Excuse me. Thanks, I won't be long, promise! A few minutes pass, and you continue to stand gingerly outside of Cassie's quarters. You hear the occasional footstep coming from the Force-side thoroughfare, but they all move on to other parts of the ship. Thankfully, no one stops by to ask why security is lurking outside one of the operations officer's quarters. Hey Cassie. You give the door a gentle knock, leaning against the wall, continuing to remain on lookout for anyone who may have some questions about what you're doing out here there. How's it going in there? Oh yeah, almost done. Just give me a minute to get this sorted out, and... The last pause is followed by a loud bang and the sound of a small cascade of various objects onto the floor. Okay, maybe a few more minutes. You sigh and step back from the door. If anyone asks, you can always tell them that you're doing spot checks for contraband or something similar. Done. Come in. Welcome. Make yourself at... As you step through the door frame, the toe of your boot catches on a discarded pair of leggings, which are held in place by your other foot. As you begin to fall over, you reach out and catch onto something to stop yourself. Unfortunately, the chair you reached at has a uniform thrown over the backrest, which slips as you grab it, bringing both the chair and the assortment of cosmetics on the seat clattering down to the floor with you. Oh no, Johnny, are you okay? I'm so sorry, I thought... Cassie? Yes? I thought you said you were tidying this place up. I was! Then why did I just get brained by falling hair dye? There was a system! You get back to your feet and right the chair as Cassie quickly grabs the assorted bottles and tubes that fell down with you, placing them randomly back on any nearby surface. You almost launch into a speech about security stowing possessions in case of high-speed maneuvers, but you stop yourself. Doesn't the captain ever carry out spot checks or surprise inspections? No, it's great. From what I've heard, her quarters are a worse state than mine. Is that right? So, how are you finding the gun dog so far? Enjoying the tour? The ship's pretty much the same as every other one I've been stationed on. The tour's first class, though. Maybe if working in naval operations doesn't work out, you could start your own business as a tour guide back on Europa Colony. You think so? Definitely. You seem to have all the insider knowledge already, and you've only been stationed here a few days. Imagine all the insider knowledge you could share about Europa Colony. Yeah, you're right. And over here we have the statue of the workers who built this colony. If you sneak around the back, you can get inside the plinth and hide from colony security if they catch you and your friends hanging out in the park after it's shut. Then again, I don't think that's the kind of thing people would want to know. Maybe a bit more about the workers first. Anyway. What do you want to do when we've got some shore leave? So now that we're on the same ship, our shore leave will line up. Do you have anywhere you want to go? Anything you want to do? I hadn't thought about it. I guess this means that we'll be able to go on a lot more dates now. Oh, I know. Did you hear about that new colony they've added to the Europa cluster? Got an ultra-efficient water handling plant, and the planners have included a water park. We should go as soon as it opens. A water park? What's that? Never heard of a water park? Never. Excuse me. Ugh. Been a minute since I've talked this much this consecutively, so apologies for the coughs. They're one of the coolest new features on the new colonies they're building. They're like lots of big swimming pools with slides and rivers and all sorts. All the e-magazines are saying that they're going to be the coolest things to do on the colonies once they're open. Pools and slides into pools? But like, really exciting. Huh. Okay, I guess when we're next docked, I'll see if I can book us some tickets. Awesome. How are you finding the gun dog? So you've been on the ship a few days now. How are you finding it? Well, it's not too bad. Obviously, it's not like being stationed on the Reliant. It's a whole lot smaller and there's way less people. But then there's also a lot less to do, so you get much more free time. Captain Bartomuse is pretty lax compared to Captain Singh. But then I get the impression that this whole crew is a bunch of burnouts. Except for us. I obviously didn't mean that about you. And so about your transfer from the Reliant. I know, we don't have to have this conversation. I've already had it from the Captain Singh in my dismissal and from one of the senior resource officers. You're wasting your potential. You could make an excellent captain if you took your duties seriously. Your academy scores were excellent. I wasn't going to give you the speech, one of the only good things about not having parents is that I don't have to hear it from them too. Hey, Cassie. And it's the absolute worst hearing it from you, because I know that out of everyone, you're probably the only person that really cares. I wasn't going to give you the big speech about it. I figured you'd already had it from everyone else. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. I figured you were feeling worse than you let on. It's going to be okay, you know. A ship like this isn't the worst place to be for a while. And if things works out okay, you can always put in for a transfer back to a bigger ship. The JCF is still building up its navy, so there'll be loads of opportunities. And if that doesn't work out, there's still your career as a tour guide back on Europa. Yeah, you know it. I'd probably make a better tour guide than a ship operator anyway. I think you'd be great at whatever you decide to do, and whatever that is, I'll be here to support you through it. Cassie? Ah, you're so cheesy sometimes. Hey, come here. Alright. Cassie's bed. It currently appears to be acting as a makeshift wardrobe. Does she move all those clothes before she goes to sleep, or do they act like an extra sheet? How does she even have this much clothing on board anyway? I've still got the rest of the ship to check out, plus I should really go and see the captain soon. I don't think there's time for that right now. Well, at least the game picked up what I was trying to put down. Yeah, so let's head to the captain's quarters now. You step from the elevator onto the bridge, and what seems to have been a pretty quiet atmosphere turns totally silent as the two women present, who had previously been observing a screen, turn to face you. You identify the captain almost immediately by her uniform, although you are given pause to wonder if you've misjudged as she listlessly straightens up and heads over to you with an air of disinterest. The other woman shoots you a look, but remains seated at her station, quickly turning away when she realizes you've caught her looking your way. The curtness of her reaction catches you off guard as she quickly returns to what she'd been doing before you entered. Hopefully Cassie's presence can throw what you feel might be a cold reception, or might thaw what you feel might be a cold reception. Lieutenant Johnny Bobanza, entering the bridge and reporting for formal assignment, you declare, throwing a sharp salute with Cassandra quickly following suit. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn, entering the bridge in accompaniment of Lieutenant Bobanza. You're taken aback slightly as you realize that you've hardly ever seen Cassie be serious about anything, even her position. Whenever she's had to talk about her assignments, it's always been dismissive or in a joking way. You're caught so off guard that you almost miss the captain addressing you. At ease, Lieutenant Commander. You and Cassie both lower your salutes and loosen your posture slightly. There's a slight pause which you can tell is the captain sizing you up. This informal assessment lasts a little bit longer than you're comfortable with until the captain releases a heavy sigh. Welcome aboard, Lieutenant. I was beginning to get worried that the notification we'd had that you'd come aboard had been a system issue. I trust that you haven't had too hard a time finding your way to the bridge to introduce yourself? No, ma'am. I was just... You glance over to Cassandra, who is maintaining a completely straight face. We can check out anywhere you want before we head up there. Yeah, right. You fix your gaze straight. This wouldn't be the first time that Cassandra's lackadaisical attitude had got you in trouble with higher-ups. I was just familiarizing myself with the ship in case I came up any queries that I could field to you. Oh, is that so? Well, anything you'd like to ask? No, ma'am. Very good. Well, I'm glad you can make it. Eventually. This mission is an urgent one, which is why we departed as soon as you came aboard without a formal reception. Excuse me. Thinking about it, it was unusual that there hadn't been a formal onboarding process beyond the dock staff checking your ID and guiding you onto the Gundog. You'd not realized in your rush, but now it was obvious. But it did make sense that if this was an urgent dispatch, the ship would launch as soon as all of its crew were aboard. My apologies, ma'am. My transport was running late. Yes, we'd been sent word. That wouldn't have anything to do with you, would it? No, ma'am. There was a breakdown on the... Anyway, Lieutenant, I'd like to take the opportunity to formally welcome you to the JFS Gundog. My name is Captain Myers Bartomuse. I run as tight a ship as you'd expect, and I anticipate that you'll carry out your duties to the same standard. Yes, ma'am. From experience, most onboarding procedures have involved greetings and speeches from the captains that have ranged from serious to almost ceremonial. In comparison, Captain Bartomuse's introduction is almost lethargic. Your card, Lieutenant? Yes, ma'am. The items button will activate when your items, in some cases you will need to proceed and select the item button to open and dismiss. You inspect it for a moment before taking it to a control panel near the captain's chair. You remain in position, not quite at ease, but not quite at attention. You watch as she enters some commands into the console before inserting your card into a slot. There's the sound of whirring, followed by a series of beeps before your card is ejected and the captain takes it back. Oh, okay. With this being Lieutenant Bobanza... Okay, yep. With this, Lieutenant Bobanza, you now have access to all areas and authorities befitting the ship's security detail. Your responsibilities begin with immediate effect. Thank you, ma'am. You're also now authorized to take an appropriate electroshock weapon from the armory. If you have any further questions, then you know where to find me. Dismissed. Yes, Lieutenant? How can I be of assistance? Cassie, you're being... Respectfully, Lieutenant Bobanza, I would appreciate if you'd address me as Lieutenant Commander Quinn. Ah, I see. Yes, Lieutenant? Captain, when I received my posting to the Gundog, I was informed of my role, but I didn't receive my the ship's briefing documents. If I may, what's the Gundog's objective? We've been alerted by another Swift-class patrol vessel, the O'Brien, about signals coming from the edge of our territory. The O'Brien is currently on a solo patrol on outer Jovian space, so we've been sent to provide backup or support as necessary. Of course, if something were to attack two Swifts, it's not as if they could put up much of a fight. Really, it's more a case that we're out here, it's more a case that we're out there so that if anything does happen, at least one vessel will be able to get away to warn the colony fleet. I see. Oh, did I just say that out loud? Yes, ma'am. Forget what I just said. That's an order. Yes, ma'am. Excuse me, Lieutenant. I'm currently on duty, so I'd appreciate it if you did not disturb me. Lieutenant Lord, Lieutenant Bobanza is the ship's head of security. Since I'm here, you can take the time to introduce yourself formally. Great, I've got this. See you in 5. So you're the security officer that Cassandra's been going on about. That's right, Lieutenant Johnny Bobanza. Pleased to meet you. Well, I'm Vanessa Lord. I serve on the bridge as part of operations. Cassandra's told me a lot about you. Is that right? Kind of. I'm disappointed that you're nowhere near as attractive as she made you out to be. Oh, is that, right? I thought it was too good to be true, that some dashing officer would be transferred here at the last moment. Instead, we've just got another lunk. Well, how was it you even got transferred here on such short notice? I was looking over your records earlier, and you were mid-assignment on the Duke. Why would they transfer you instead of... Whoa, hey, look at the time. I think your break's over, Lieutenant. Commander Quinn? I think Vanessa needs to get back to her station. Of course, I hope this is the start of a productive working relationship between the two of you. Vanessa, I'll catch up with you later, okay? And let me save. Yes. Okay. So we gotta go to the armory then. Yeah, I will not be using that too often. Probably. At least for this demo. Central hub. Aft through side. Armory. Swipe your key card through the card reader set to the terminal. There's a slight delay, but quickly enough the terminal flashes a message flashes the message access granted, and the door slides open. The first thing that you notice about the armory is that the benches and lockers remind you of the changing rooms from the training center back at the military academy on Europa Colony. As you walk past them, you take a closer look and realize that they're the exact same kind of benches used on the larger ships you've been stationed on, which had sports facilities and changing rooms on board. Excuse me? Instead of sports clothing and equipment, these lockers are filled with a selection of combat gear, from body armor or electroshock weapons to a variety of small and light weapons. You know, this is the first time I've ever actually been inside a ship's armory. It's not really surprising, it's only the security detail that would have access. Even in a situation where a ship's expecting to encounter a boarding party, it's security's responsibility to distribute weaponry to the crew in advance. It's to ensure there's no panic or crew don't get a hold of weaponry they're not trained to use. Huh. That's standard regulation. You should know that. Well, all I remember from my firearm training was when I dropped my electroshock weapon and accidentally zapped one of the other girls from operations. Our trainer made me use a hand-cranked battery charger to recharge all the power packs as punishment. That must have taken forever. You bet, but you should have seen my gun show afterwards. Pew pew! Which reminds me, the captain said I was authorized to collect my sidearm. You should get it whilst I'm here. These suits are security detail. They're a bit more robust than the suits handed out to the rest of the crew. For obvious reasons, but aside from that, they don't offer much tactical advantage. I'm gonna guess here? Contains a variety of small arms and light weapons. They're only for use against external hostile forces. Even then, their stopping power is relatively low because of the dangers of using live rounds inside a ship. Oh. And here, this locker contains electroshock weapons. They're non-lethal and intended to be used for crew control in case of a mutiny or violence that breaks out for some other reason. This is the weapons locker with the electroshock weapons in. I'm authorized to take one small weapon from here as part of my role as security officer. This one will do. Electroshock pistol. What's that? It's just my standard issue duty weapon for my roles as a security officer. It fires a barbed projectile that contains a miniature battery. It's non-lethal, but more than enough to stop someone in their tracks. I see. Absolutely not. Ah, come on! So, have you ever got to use any firearms? Why do you ask? Well, I know you're security, but you never tell me anything about anything. You never tell me about anything exciting. I always imagined you facing down bad guys with some scary pistol the size of my forearm, saying cool lines like, "How many shots did I fire?" I don't know myself, but the question is, do you feel lucky, bub? You've been watching too many old movies. Aw, not even once? Most of my job has been dealing with crew members who get a bit tetchy after being cooped up on a ship for too long and start fights with each other. Even then, I just tend to break things up and talk them down. Most of the time, no one even ends up in the brig. Got to have done something more exciting than that. Well, I knew you were an exciting action hero. Tell me, tell me. So, this one time a pilot found out that someone in the maintenance team had been trying to hit on his girlfriend. He got so mad that he got into his armored frame and used it to corner the guy in the hangar. No way! He was threatening to turn the guy into paste and had made a real mess of some cargo containers. Because the hangars are a low gravity zone, I was able to make a jump from the gangway to the armored frame and then overrode the cockpit access from the outside. The pilot was too focused on this engineer to notice me. Wow, a frame jack! Did you use a cool line when the cockpit opened? Pick on someone your own size or something. No way, I put 50,000 volts into the guy's shoulder the second I had a clear shot. Ah, come on, you're no fun. Alright, then... With Cassandra leading the way, the two of you leave the armory behind you and step into the aft thoroughfare. Cassandra pauses for a moment, looking left then right before turning back to face you with a smile on her face. Well, that's it, Johnny. Consider yourself officially acquainted with all there is to be acquainted with on board the one and only JFS Gundog. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I did. It's probably up there in my top 5 ship orientations. Top 5? Okay, you're right. Top 3. What? Be a triple shift to start your time aboard the Gundog is more to your taste. Well, that did happen to me aboard the Thunderbolt, so if that didn't happen, I guess it'd definitely be my favorite orientation ever. What a coincidence. It looks like your schedule's clear until tomorrow morning. Whoa, in that case, 5 stars. Great tour, especially the guide. So, now that the tour's over, your duties don't formally begin until tomorrow. If you want, we can take another look at anywhere on the ship, or if you want to call it a day, that's cool too. I think I'll... think I'll take another look around. It's best if I'm completely up to speed on everything there is to know about the ship before I start my duties. Roger that, Lieutenant. Let's go. But when you decide that you've got everything figured out, it's probably best to head back to your quarters. You've got a big day ahead of you. So, round 2? Not a chance. Well, can't blame a girl for trying, right? Alright, well, I was seeing if any different things would happen. Yeah, we're shooting pretty... Yeah, we all knew what I was trying to do. I'm not even gonna front. I was totally trying to get him to bang, but alas, it did not work out. Go to the mess hall again. You know, it's pretty weird seeing this mess hall quiet. I like it. On bigger ships, you've always got a queue for the machines, or they've run out of, like, the best snacks before your day out the port. A ship like this, you can get whatever you want, whenever you want. How much of a problem have you had with snacks running out before? You don't even want to know. On the Reliant, I was operating on a preferential shift for chocolate system. It was tricky, but I did what I had to do. Sounds like it breaks a ton of regulations. Regulations only get broken if you get caught. I don't think that's how that works. Alright, and let's head back to my room. Because I do gotta remember, this is a demo. So, now that the tour's over, your duties don't formally begin until tomorrow. Yep, okay. Call it a day. I think that's enough for now. I should probably go over the mission logs before tomorrow and get an early night. I know the captain seems pretty relaxed, but I don't want to make a habit of late starts. Not responsible. I've got the late shift tonight, so maybe I'll get a nap too. Okay, I'll see you soon then. Well, look who it is, the Kalik Coward. Don't even need to look behind Cassandra to know who's standing at the entrance to the corridor. Although you recognize the mocking tone anywhere, the real giveaway is the nickname, one you thought you'd escaped a long time ago. Hanson Cruz, or as you knew him, Kalik III. Of the members of the Kalik squadron who'd taken part in the battle, he'd been the only one to return. Even then, that had only been after the ceasefire had been signed, a full 13 hours after he'd launched. From what you'd heard from the other crew members, he'd survived by playing a game of cat and mouse with the enemy forces in a debris field. By shutting down the majority of his systems and hiding amongst the wreckage, he'd been able to launch surprise attacks, taking down his pursuers one by one. When he came back to the Kalik and saw your armored frame still suspended from its restraints, he had instantly blamed you for the squad being wiped out. If you'd taken off when you were supposed to, he argued, the squadron would have been at full strength, enough to survive the surprise attack. No amount of technical data or arguing that it had been physically impossible for you to launch would change his mind. The destruction of the Kalik squadron was on your hands. The worst bit was that you weren't entirely sure he was wrong. What's up, Lieutenant Johnny? You're not thinking of finishing the first day without meeting an old friend, right? When Harv came and told me that some lieutenant called Johnny Bobanza was our new security officer, I had to come and take a look. No way could it be that wimp from back on the Kalik. They'd had to have been dishonorably discharged for dereliction of duty. But I guess the JCF is so desperate that they'll hang on to anybody, no matter how much of a screw-up they are. How'd you end up here, Bobanza? They decided you couldn't handle a full-size ship, so had to put you with the smallest crew they could find? You instinctively make your hands into a fist, but unclench them quickly before Hansen notices. You haven't been stationed on the same ship as him since the Kalik, but you'd run into him a few times on board the colonies whilst you were both on shore leave. Each time had ended badly. You almost lash out at Hansen, but stop yourself before you do. The two of you are on the ship together, whether you like it or not, and the last thing you want is to let him know that he can get a rise out of you so easily. You fight the urge to just draw your electroshock weapon here and now. It'd be easy to put an end to this that way, you think, but you know that in the long term, it'd probably be the worst decision you can make. Instead, you grit your teeth. Stand down, Ensign. This kind of behavior is out of line. Oh no, what are you gonna do, Lieutenant? Confine me to quarters? On what grounds? Hurting your feelings? Give me a break. Where was the spine 4 years ago, huh? You're happy to throw your weight around against your comrades, but not the enemy? See what I was saying, Haru? Or see what I was saying, Harv? The lieutenant here is a coward, and he has been since day one. Won't fight, won't even stand up for themselves. Is it Haru or Harv? Shit, I can't tell. That might be Haru, not Harv like I initially thought. Ensign Cruz, you stop this right now. Lieutenant Bobanza is... Can't stand up for yourself, so getting this ditz to do it for you is it, Lieutenant? Cruz, you stop this right now and apologize, or I'll order Lieutenant Bobanza to throw you into solitary and write you up myself. You're welcome to try, Lieutenant Commander, but I don't think your security officers have got it in them to even try. Think you can take me on, Bobanza? Staring Hansen in the eyes, you say nothing, but instead slowly move your hand down to the holster on your hip that holds your electroshock weapon. With a slow, deliberate motion, you undo the clip and lay your hands on the weapon's grip. I suggest you do as the Lieutenant Commander says on sign. I'm authorized to handle insubordination as I see fit, especially when it's hostile. Hansen steps past Cassie right up to you. With his face inches from yours, he places his right fist into his left hand and cracks his knuckles. He's so close you can feel his breath on your face as he sneers at you. I'm surprised, Lieutenant. I didn't think you had the guts to make a threat like that. But do you think you're fast enough? Come on then, Lieutenant. What's it going to be? You going to show me who's boss on board this ship? You going to make me obey that order? Or are you going to let everyone down again and show the Lieutenant Commander that you're just as much of a screw-up as she is? You take a deep breath and... With Hansen's breath hot on your face, you do everything you can to not bat an eye at that last comment, but despite your best effort, your hands are clenched into fists. As much as you'd like to put 50,000 volts through him for insubordination and insulting a senior officer, you know that would be letting him win. Instead, you glare into the Ensign's eyes for a few more seconds. You can almost feel Hansen's hatred for you radiating from him like an aura, and all it takes is it takes all the bravado you can muster not to step down. Two of you stand like this for longer than you'd like until... Would you two knock it off already? I'm on duty this evening, and I don't want to have to update the captain that both our new security officer and lead pilot are in the sick bay. All because their egos are too big to be on the same ship together. So both of you stand down. That's an order. Both you and Hansen are taken aback for a moment, like two schoolchildren who've been caught in a playground squabble. You turn from Cassie to Hansen and back, trying to come up with something to say. Similarly, Hansen's air of machismo has been dented by the surprise outburst. No, I don't want to hear it from either of you. You're both in the JCF, so maybe you should start acting like it. Ensign Cruz, I want you to report to the chief at 0400. You're helping her clean out the organic processing filters. As for you, Lieutenant Bobanzo, we'll discuss this later. Hey, what? You can't. Ensign? Fuck off. That's an order. For the first time since you've met him, Hansen looks lost for words. He stands there for a moment, mouth agape. Yeah, Lieutenant Commander. I hear you loud and clear. Hansen thrusts both his hands into his jacket pockets, turning on his heel and heading away towards the throughfare. Excuse me. He cocks his head, gesturing to Haru to follow him as he leaves. Before the pair are fully out of sight... Wait, that's how I tell. Yeah, that's a you. That's Haru, not Harv. Alright. Are fully out of sight, he turns back to face the two of you. Good thing someone on this crew is able to keep everyone in line. Doesn't seem like our security officer is up to the task. With this parting shot fired, both Haru and Hansen disappear around the corner. You and Cassie stand there watching the space where they'd been. Sorry, got lost in my head for a moment. Cassie crosses her arms as she taps her foot furiously. What an absolute dick. I told you he's a real... And you, what was that performance all about? I've told you about him. He doesn't back down. You've got to... I know, but you can't let him get to you like that. Otherwise he'll just keep coming time after time until one of you does something they regret. You pause for a moment and feel your cheeks grow flush. You're suddenly filled with a sense of shame for being caught out acting so childishly. Hey, don't worry about it. I know what the two of you have been through, and to be honest, I figured he was a real asshole from the moment I met him. Plus, he's going to be busy helping the chief clean out those filters for the next month, so don't worry too much about running into him anytime soon. Still feeling a bit sheepish about your behavior in front of Cassie, you manage a smirk. Thanks for stepping in there. I shouldn't have stooped to his level. Don't worry about it. Just take it easy, and don't let what he said get to you. I'm going to go get ready for my shift, so I'll see you soon. Sure, I guess I'll catch you in the morning. Sounds good. Oh, and one more thing. What's that? Cassie steps forward, placing her hands on your waist, then stands on tiptoes, raising her face up to yours. You close your eyes and tilt your head slightly in response. At that moment, her lips meet yours, you forget everything that just happened. All you can focus on is the softness and delicate warmth. After a moment, Cassie moves slowly back, and you open your eyes to find her gazing at you contentedly. You both share the same gentle smile before she steps away. Sleep well, Johnny. As Cassie walks away, she spins on her heels, gives you a quick wave, then turns back, heading further down the corridor. As you step into your quarters and head over to your bunk up, the door hisses shut behind you. You stand there for a moment with a smile still on your face before you let out a sigh and sit down. Staring at nothing in particular, you mull over the day's events and Cassie's words from earlier. Big day ahead tomorrow, huh? You sigh. We'll see. Excuse me? April 23rd, Planetary Calendar 214. 4 days have passed since the JFS Gundog departed on its mission to rendezvous with the... Excuse me again. With the JFS O'Brien. In that time, her crew, including Lieutenant Johnny Bobanza, have fallen into the easy rhythm of life aboard the ship. Even as the Gundog enters the outer limits of Jovian space and is due to meet the O'Brien, there is little for the crew to do, and a general sense of routine permeates the atmosphere. Outer Jovian space. Aboard the Jovian patrol ship, JFS Gundog. Oh shit, is the demo still going? I genuinely thought it would end with that. You're just finishing the last of your coffee as a shrill series of electronic pips begin sounding from your wristwatch. Without looking to check the time, you turn off the alarm and rise from your seat, knocking back the last of your drink once you've stood up, then taking the empty cup back to the food vendor. It's easy to lose track of time on board a military ship where the light is kept at a constant level, but you rely on a series of alarms you've programmed. You know that this one means that your shift is due to start in a few minutes, giving you time to finish whatever you may be doing. You place the cup back into the vendor, where the machine latches onto it and retracts it into a space, which is quickly sealed by a sliding panel. As the sound of muffled whirring begins, you turn back to face the empty mess hall. Time to carry out the day's security checks, then. Let's see, I need to stop by fire control, the hangar, and engineering to check that everything is going as it should. Okay, let me check where I need to go. Engineering, fire control, hangar. You got it. For sure. Let's check the hangar. Alright, the hangar. Let's see. Although you take the first few stairs normally, by the time you reach the hangar entrance, you're skipping almost every step. Gliding through the door onto the catwalk, you grab the railing and heave yourself over it. As you continue to float lazily through the wide open space of the hangar, you start your visual checks. Walkways clear, access points marked, munitions stowed, all the equipment and supplies seem to be where they should be. You casually shift your weight to one side of your body, causing you to begin spinning slowly. As you rotate the glare from the hangar lights reflects off an armored frame's camera lens, almost as if it was watching you. Quickly dismissing the thought, you turn your attention back to your duties. Eventually you arrive at the other end of the hangar where you plant your feet on the thick steel of the main floor. From this angle you can take in everything that you may have missed, including Dalton, who you can see in amongst the storage units, his attention fixed intently on a collection of parts in front of him. Cadet Dalton, attention! The junior engineer suddenly snaps to attention the second he hears your call, inadvertently launching the pair of pliers he was holding into the open space of the hangar. Without gravity to stop them, they continue to sail through the air. At ease, Cadet. You time your launch from the door exactly to allow yourself to grab the pliers as you float over to the startled Cadet. I believe these are yours, Cadet? Sir, thank you. I didn't realize you were... Relax, Dalton. I'm just doing my rounds. I'm not here to check up on you. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Is there anything I can help you with? Just the usual. Everything okay in here? You haven't noticed any mechanical failures? Everything working how it should? Any suspicious activity? Nothing to report, sir. I've just been working on my project. Ever since Lieutenant Commander Quinn assigned Ensign Cruz to the filter cleaning, it's given me a bit of extra time to finish things up. Oh yeah? That's your high density foam that sets rocks hard, right? Or that sets rock hard, right? How's that going? That's right. It's good. It's good. I'm hoping to get the chance to test it soon. These containers are full of the compound. I'm just about to try transferring it onto some empty training grounds, you know? The ones normally filled with paint? The ones that the armored frame pilots use in practice combat to show when they've hit each other? Mm-hmm. The compound stored under pressure where it remains a liquid. When removed from that pressure, it expands quickly, and the rapid expansion it sets. If I've got this right, then we can test it by firing the practice rounds at dummy targets. When the casing is destroyed, the compound should activate. Good news. Well, if there's nothing I need to know, I'll head out. Let me know if you see anything out of place. Yes, sir, I will. Although, I was wondering... What's up, Cadet? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. If you're sure, Cadet. Dalton, what were... Yeah! Slow down, Cadet. It's me. Oh, sorry, sir. I didn't realize you were still here. Don't worry about it. Anyway, you've got something on your mind. What were you going to ask? Oh, it's nothing, sir. Don't worry about me. Come on, Dalton. It's not exactly like I'm rushed off my feet doing the security rounds. What's up? Well, if you're sure. The chief sent a message that she wants me to head over to engineering to carry out a job. But I'm right at the critical part of the process to decant the compound into the training grounds. If I stop now, I'll have to stow all my equipment, so I'll be late anyway, and then I won't have any time, and then it'll be... Okay, slow down. What do you need me to do? Oh, sorry, I just need a bit more time. Chief's got something they want me to do, but if I stop now, I don't know when I'll get another chance. Is there any way you could cover for me? Say no more. I'll take care of it. Well? I mean, are you sure, sir? Don't even worry about it. If it's something I can help with, then I'll lend a hand. If I can't, well, I'll cover for you. Don't sweat it. Thank you, sir. With the extra time, I should be able to get these rounds ready for testing before the next AF drills. Thank you. No problem. Now get back to it. If the chief thinks you've slacked off for nothing, then you'll know about it. Thank you, sir. I'll get right on it. Alright, now I need to go to the armor? No, the fire escape. And engineering? Yes, okay. Oh shit, is this gonna be a case where like every room has something in it? Hold on. So like, let's say I go to the... Okay, maybe not. I did need to go... No, I already went to the hangar. Fire control. You still feel a bit awkward checking on fire control as part of the security report. Although Dylan is always friendly enough, you can't help but feel like you're intruding on his personal sanctuary. It doesn't help that his headphones are so big that short of shaking him, it's hard to get his attention. Well, here we go. Morning, Lieutenant. How's it going? Oh, hey, Dylan. Everything alright? I thought you'd be listening to your music. You're a pretty punctual guy, Lieutenant. So far, you've come by here the exact same time every shift. All I had to do was find which albums would last until just before you got here, and now I don't need to get interrupted mid-jam. That's pretty impressive. Aren't you going to get bored of listening to the same albums every morning, though? Nah, don't worry about it. I figured out about 15 different album combinations, and that's not including changing the order of play, so I'm good for this mission. Speaking of the mission, you know the drill. Anything unusual? Nothing at all, Lieutenant. Not even a scrap of debris. I've been keeping an eye on the long-range targeting systems too, and we've had a blip, but the energy readings match the O'Brien, which makes sense. Yeah, I thought so. We're so deep in Jupiter's backyard that I don't think we'll be seeing anything at all aside from the O'Brien. Pausing for a moment as you idly shift your focus from one screen to another, a flicker on one screen catches your attention. What was that? Sir? This screen here, it just flickered. What do the readings say? Oh, that's a long-range targeting system. It's fed with data from the long-range communications system, which has been on the fritz recently. Chief's been working on it to try to figure out where all the feedback's coming from. That's the kind of thing you should be filling me in on, Gunner D's. If our targeting systems aren't operating properly, then I need to make sure the captain knows. My bad, sir. Since Chief said she was on the case, I figured it was all in hand. Well, let me know next time. That's it, though? Nothing else? Nothing at all. Alright, keep it up, Gunner D's. Yes, sir. What's going on, Lieutenant? I listened to that Trish and the Replicants album you lent me the other day. It was pretty good. Oh, hey, nice. If you're into it, I've got a few other albums I can lend you. Ever heard of Firebombing? I was wondering if you had something a bit less rock? What were you thinking? Well, I really like the Lin Minnie May song they were always playing back on Europa before we left. Do you have anything like that? Lin Minnie May? That overproduced twee stuff? Come on, sir. Next you'll be telling me you want to listen to a whole album of Princess Maria ballads or something. I mean... No way, sir. Come on, you're listening to Firebombing next, and that's it. Alright, okay. Leave the tape with me next time you pass by my quarters. Princess Maria. Who can have a taste of music like that? Alright. So, just engineering, and I should probably tell the commander. Central hub. Okay, yep. So, yeah, okay. Oh, shit. Shit, I didn't read any of that. And I don't know how to get... I wish they had a log button. Or a way to scroll back. There we go. Ah, Lieutenant Bobanza, can I help you? No, thank you, Doctor. I'm just stopping by. For what purpose? There we go. If I can't help you, then I would have to assume you're here for some other alternative purpose? Do you intend to make small talk? No, I didn't really come here to... Pick up more nutritional shakes for Miss Quinn? No. On the captain's orders? No, look, as part of your routine checks? Yes, just, doing the routine checks. Checking in on you. Everything okay here, Doctor? Yes, don't let me keep you, Lieutenant. You're clearly very busy. Great, thanks. I'll just be, carrying on with my rounds then. Alright, let's, aft through fare. Engineering. Lieutenant Johnny Bobanza, entering main engineering. You declared to the cavernous expanse of machinery and access ways that makes up the engineering section. You've been instructed to announce your arrival by the chief, and since the last time you didn't, she nearly dropped a filtration unit on you to prove a point, you made sure not to forget. Access ways clear, no visible detritus, nothing seems to be malfunctioning. You stop midway through your visual checks. And no one's throwing heavy machinery off of the higher level to teach me a lesson in proper conduct. Doesn't take long for you to finish your daily checklist. The chief runs such a tight ship that you don't really expect anything less. Now that you think about it, though, she hasn't given you your daily grilling about how insulting it is that you think these daily checks are necessary in the first place. Chief? You here? Up here, Lieutenant. Excuse me. Chief, are you around? Damn it, Lieutenant, I'm up here. That's weird. It's not like the chief did not be at her assigned duty station. I'll have to tell the captain. Damn it, Lieutenant, I'm up here. Look up, you idiot. Looking up, you see the chief engineer leaning dangerously across the safety rail of a walkway a few levels above you. Behind her is a massive cabling that's pouring out of an open panel above her. Oh, Chief, good morning. Good morning yourself. I've been calling back to you this whole time. You forgot to clean out your ears or something? Sorry, Chief, it's pretty loud in here. Nothing in here is running above the safety decibel limit, and if you tell me otherwise, I'll come down there and recalibrate your ears. Excuse me? Excuse me? You quickly mentally calculate the time it would take for her to get down to where you are, and the time you need to get out of engineering. Although you fancy your chances, you wouldn't bet money, or your ears on it. Must be me then. Anyway, I'm just filling out the daily report, Chief. What's going on up there? One of those clowns at the colony dock who took part in the maintenance process must have done something stupid to the long-range communication system. For the past 12 hours, we've been picking up huge amounts of feedback. Must have made a bad connection, but I can't find it in all this shoddy wiring. Huh, that must be the system Dylan was talking about. Are you sure there's nothing out here that could be sending a signal? A broadcast from the O'Brien? One of our reconnaissance satellites? No chance. This feedback is way too intense. Even a standard broadcast shouldn't produce this much noise. Unless maybe they calibrated the long-range system on the shortwave bands? In that case, the sensitivity would be so off it would. Chief? Oh yeah, like I was saying, there's nothing around here that should be kicking out a signal with this kind of capacity. It's like it's picking up something with an amplitude and frequency 10 times higher than our standard equipment. Which could be the result of a processor loop. Maybe I should check out the initial conversion driver next. Okay, well in that case, Chief, I'm going to let the captain know, okay? Huh? I'll put that on my report. I'll put that in my report for the captain, alright? Oh yeah, sure. I was going to let her know when I'd fixed it, but those dolts have done a real number on this, so it's going to be longer than I thought. Alright, thanks for the heads up. Alright, that's all the routine checks carried out. Time to report to the captain. Oh, Chief, one more thing. Are the issues with the long-range communication system going to interfere with standard maintenance? Do I need to follow up with operations to get you some support? Depends how badly these idiots back at Europa have fouled things up. Normally something like this should be a quick wiring fix, but I can't trace back the fault. Ugh. Although maybe the problem isn't with wiring around the receiver, they could have crossed wires on the broadcast hardware. Yes or no, Chief? Oh no, today's scheduled maintenance is pretty light, so Dalton should be able to take care of it. He's not scheduled to report to me until later, though. When you go to the hangar, tell him to pack up his project and get over here on the double, you hear? Actually, Chief, now that you mention it, Dalton said he's a little busy with his project at the moment, and that stopping would throw the whole thing off. So I said I'd cover for some of the maintenance tasks. Oh, he did, huh? Yes, Chief. And you said you'd cover? Yes, Chief. That's right. As the silence between you and the Chief drags on, you begin to regret offering to do Dalton a favor. Now that you think about it, what exactly do you know about maintenance? Not only is the Chief going to give Dalton grief for passing off his workload, you're going to get it in the neck for... Well, if he says he's at an important stage of his work, I'm not going to drag him away. Kid's been slaving over that project night and day. Gotta admire his love for the craft. Let yourself relax. Thankfully, it looks like the Chief's got something of a soft side after all. I'll be able to pick things up here, but I've got one of his jobs that you can do for me. What do you need? Chief turns away from you and squats down, rummaging around her tool pack for something. The batteries in the emergency spacesuit radio packs in the airlock are due for replacement. Take these and switch them out for the old ones, okay? She casually tosses 2 battery packs over to you, which you just about catch, surprised by their heft. Alright, roger that, Chief. Once you've got the old ones, bring them back here and plug them into the power distribution module. After that, you're free to go. Swap out the batteries in the emergency spacesuits in the airlock, then bring the old ones back here to recharge. Simple. Alright. Oh wait, shit. No. I need to go back to Central Hub. Then the airlock should be here. Let's see, the Chief said it was the batteries in the suit radios that needed changing. Firmly grasping the locking mechanism handle on the suit's container, you twist it 90 degrees clockwise and then pull. The door offers more resistance than you'd expect, but once fully opened, it remains in place. Reaching inside the container, you hold your left hand against the suit's rigid breast panel and grab the large black block of plastic that protrudes from the panel's left side. With a tug, the block pulls away, trailing a curling cable that keeps it connected to the suit. As you pull it away from the suit, you flip the radio over to examine it. The bottom half of the device consists of a pistol grip with a secondary microphone and speaker, which allow it to be used separately from the suit, and your thumb rests comfortably on the push-to-talk button. Shoot, excuse me. The top half of the unit's underside has a backlit LCD screen showing the current frequency it's tuned to and battery level. Below the screen sit a few ambiguous buttons. To its side is a dial for tuning and a power switch. Whilst this unit holds the main workings of the radio's receiver and transceiver, the wire that still anchors it to the suit connects it to the small microphone and speaker inside the helmet. Flipping the whole unit around to look at its underside, you see a small latch set into a recess, which you pull down on with your thumb, releasing the cover and letting the old battery slide out into your palm. Old battery out. You murmur to yourself as you take it in your spare hand before sliding it into the opposite pocket from the fresh batteries. And now to put the new batteries. Oh, okay, I see. New battery in. With the battery replaced, you reattach the compartment cover to which snaps back into place. Once you set the radio onto its mount on the suit's breast panel, you then step back, close the suit's container door, and twist the locking mechanism 90 degrees counterclockwise. With one down, you move to the other storage unit and repeat the process of unlocking the container, taking the suit's radio, swapping out the batteries, and replacing everything as you found it. Great, all done. Let's get these back in charging and engineering. Yeah, no, I did the right batteries. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know where I need to go. Power distribution module. This device sends energy from the engines out to the rest of the ship. It's also got ports for charging battery packs. I should probably finish the job. Alright, and the depleted. Take each battery that you'd remove from the suit's radio and place them in the charging ports on the side of the power distribution module. They slide in and lock into place with a satisfying clunk, and a red light right above the port light lights up with an amber glow. Great, a job well done. Lieutenant, have you sorted out those batteries yet? Yes, Chief, all sorted. Good, you're not as useless as you look, Lieutenant. Keep it up. Thanks, Chief. I guess? Oh wait, shit, wrong place. F through fair. You know, out of curiosity. I wonder. Let's see, she said her passcode was our anniversary, which was the 2nd of November, so that'll be 0211 access. You push in the 4-digit passcode, and the terminal flashes the text, "Access granted," whilst the door slides open. You step into Cassie's quarters, being careful not to trip on any errant clothing. Surprise! You announce to an empty room. Huh, I didn't think Cassie was on duty right now. Considering how much stuff Cassie has balanced on this terminal, I wouldn't be surprised if she does everything that she needs to in the airlock terminal or something. Cassie's bed, once again also serving as wardrobe, putting clothes that she throws off it at night back on top in the morning. It's probably the closest she gets to tidying up. For one thing, I'm on duty. For another, I'd ruin Cassie's system if I tried to make space so that I could sleep on there. It's so covered with stuff that it looks like the slightest tremor would knock it all off. I'll use my own terminal instead. Alright, let's check one other place then. Not here. Is this where? No, it's not. Central Hub then. The airlock. Let's see. No, she was not here this time. This terminal has control over the airlock, in addition to all the normal features. On top of that, it's also Cassie's favorite stargazing spot. Alright, I guess she ain't around then. Well, let's go to the bridge. I've completed the security report for today. Should I go up and give it to the captain, or should I take another look around in case I've missed anything? Let's check the rooms, I guess. Airlock I've been to. Sick bay.
Since I don't really have anything to say to the good doctor, I think it's best that I don't try to strike up another conversation, okay? Aft through fare. No one in the armory. Engineering I already checked. Well, no, there's one more thing in engineering I can check. Central computer. Make your way through the central. Carry out your standard checks. Although it's unlikely that there's much in engineering that you'd consider a threat to the ship when it's running well, you still have to check the less exciting things, ensuring that access points are clear, security cameras are working, and